again. Just make some small adjustments. I think that should be good. Okay. And we will do what we normally do, which is wait out the two verses of the title screen theme here. Then we'll get started. So about, 2 or 3 minutes from now. The sun is bright in my window. Should go catch some God rays before I gotta get started with this, huh? Be right back. Always feel revitalized. Go look at, so I don't look at the sun. It's a good way to burn out your eye sockets. Close my eyes and I let the sun wash over my face. Always makes me feel a little bit better. Might be the vitamin D. Might just be the sun. I might secretly be photosynthetic. I don't know. Either way, it always makes me feel better. More energetic. It might be just temporary, but if it works, it works. I ain't gonna question it. I'm not a biologist. I ain't no... Who's that guy? Gregor Mendel? I remember the name Mendel from my biology classes, but that's about all I remember. Well, whatever. Because right now, we're not dealing with biology anymore. We're dealing with proto-biology. Cryptid biology, even. But then again, this is a video game where a piece of an island is floating in the sky and holding the man that can kill Cthulhu demons everywhere. So, it was before he got kidnapped to a different dimension. So I think most situations of logic got thrown out the window a long time ago. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy Legend 3, the Stream Edition. Last time I thought we were all ready to head off to the Pure Land, or not Pure Land, Float Land, so that we can get what we need to go to the Pure Land. But I might go get some HP pills for Sharon, actually, because I thought about it and I says, I should probably make her stats what I want them to be by the time we're done with the Floatland, rather than what I want them to be before we go to the Floatland. So we're gonna use Dive, and I think you can get the pills from either Elan or Moo. I forget which one it is, but we're gonna go look now. And once we get them, then we'll head off to the Floatland. We gotta go to that pier to just above the shrine so that we can jump off of that and go from there. Oh good, HP potions are right here. Perfect. I'll take maybe 4 of these, and that should be good. Let me see here. I should probably equip that adamant knife on Curtis at this point, shouldn't I? Just so he has it. We're getting about 30 each time. That's not too bad. Because the plan eventually is to equip Curtis with the adamant knife. So let's see what that does to his stats if I equip that instead of the psychic knife. Reduces his agility but increases his magic. How do I feel about that? You've got good agility. You've got decent agility. You've got great agility. I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay with him having slightly less for slightly more mana. So let's just put this down here. Take the rocket. Put it here. Sell my psychic knife, and then we'll be out of here. So yeah, just a quick little pit stop. Nothing particularly special about it. If you don't have a whole lot of money at this point, though, it might be pertinent to think about getting some while you're still out here. Although, you don't need to get it while you're still out here, because you can just get it when we go to the Floatland. There are some decent things to purchase when we get there, and you'll probably want to get them before you head off of the Floatland, because once you leave the Floatland, you can't come back. So, yeah, make sure you get everything that you want before you go, before you finish up there, rather. And how's everybody doing on levels here? Gloria is good. I want her to be about level 21. Well, not soon, I guess, but other than Curtis needing to transform at the next level, Gloria is our next major transformation, where she's going to need to go up to the next level of Baby Worm at level 21. So we're going to have to do that for her once we take care of Curtis. And it looks like the Floatland just passed us by, but that's okay. It gives me plenty of time to line up my rocket. Blast off! Just don't shoot me straight downward as if I was in Disney Castle. Alright, they gave us the Talon theme for the Floatland overworld music. Hell yeah! Now I can dance while I'm on the world map, baby. We'll go to that village in a second. I just want to see what's over here. Nothing! Perfect. Just what they needed. Nothing. Alright, let's go check out this village. This is where you buy all of the good stuff here on the Floatland, so let's go check out what they got in the shops, shall we? X-Plane shields, not too bad. Speed armor, if you so choose. The main thing that I want are these earrings here, so we're going to buy 3 of these. And the reason why I want them is because they protect you from para, so that will be rather useful to us. We'll take the pendants off and give the earrings to everybody that can equip them, that is. Gloria is going to be kind of SOL in that department, but she'll be okay. She will be alright. And I have a theory, a working theory, about how I can get around the fact that she can't prevent all of the statuses that I want her to be able to prevent. We won't be able to test it probably at all today, but we'll end up seeing at some point. This is how I ideally want my status immunity to be set up eventually, is I want Confuse, Sleep, Para, and Stone to all have them circles, because that means I'm immune to all of them. Only Arthur has that luxury right now because, well, we don't have stone protection on anybody else, but we'll get it. It's not really that prevalent of a spell at this point anyway. Most enemies don't use it for a little while yet, so we'll make it work after that. Do I want X-Plane shields for anybody? They're better than the dragon shields, so probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get them. I wouldn't get them over the fire shields, though, because having that elemental resistance is pretty nice, so maybe I'll get a couple. Don't need the X-Plane helmets, though, because I think the speed helmets are better, and that's what we have there for now, so yeah, we'll grab a couple X-Plane shields, why not? They're a little better than what we have, so can't hurt, right? Lets Curtis become a really good tank, so I could probably equip him with that Psi armor as well. Oh no, I can't actually, I forgot, because I need to keep the mage armor on him so he has immunity to Confuse for now, until he gets to his cybernetic form, where he will just have natural immunity to that, so Oh, well, thank you. That's very helpful. Man, these people are rather nice considering we just got here. You'd think they wouldn't trust us or something, but no, apparently they do. That's nice of them. I have a couple of things I can sell, I guess. These pendants won't need these anymore. I could keep one for Dion, but he doesn't really need it. I guess I could give him a dragon shield. Just like pass him my hand-me-downs, because I don't think he has a shield, right? No, he doesn't. Does he need it, though? He's got 78 defense. I think he's fine. I usually don't equip my 5th party members until, like, the last one that you get in the game. Then I go all out with equipping them because, well, obviously at that point it's important. You're going to be fighting the final boss. So, you know, it's not like they're going to give us another Isis like they did in Legend 2. Well, anyway. Let's see what else we got here. Master Soul came from what? I would assume that's supposed to say like the others did, or like we did, something like that. Not really sure. But apparently, yeah, Soul is, obviously, as they've been saying previously, Soul's pretty important. He's the only one that can stop the water entity. I don't mind playing second fiddle to an NPC in a game. It's actually kind of refreshing. I mean, it means that maybe eventually we'll end up having Soul as a 5th party member. That would be pretty cool. And hell, that would basically make him a second Isis if he's the only one that can stop the water entity. I'd be okay with that. But apparently time doesn't pass here at all. Must be nice. What do we got here? Fast staff. It doesn't cast fast, unlike what you might believe. I think it casts like, I don't even know, like Fire 2 or something ridiculous like that. Nothing I care about. If you really want to, though, you could load up on a bunch of tear gas bombs because they hit all enemies, similar to Quake, and they have a chance to paralyze all enemies. So they're not bad. They could, like, if you have a cyborg or something, it might not be bad to give that to him. I could even give it to Curtis if I really wanted to, but he's got the adamant knife, so that will help us out more than the tear gas. And I should mention, I forgot to mention it, these bomb-type things that you get here, you can buy multiples of them, so you can buy more than one. You can buy up to 9, and you can stack them all in one person's weapon slot, which allows you to use more than one of them, which is it's pretty good. It helps out quite a bit. But yeah, I don't really need it that badly. Excuse me. Apparently, what I need is a nap because I'm dying over here. We could get Fire 2 for Curtis, but he's going to be level 19 and a cyborg in not too long of a time now, so I'm not really too concerned about that. As a matter of fact, I could probably get rid of all of his offensive spells except for Quake at this point, because he really won't need any of the other ones. Cure 3 is nice, though. I probably should get 3 of these. And I also want to get 3 fast spells. I think I mentioned last time, I'm not sure if I need them, but I do, in fact, want to have them, so I will grab those. Let's see, get rid of Arrow, get rid of Lightning 1, Fire 1, and Ice 1. Excuse me. And eventually we'll get rid of Quake once I get his other transformation, but it's too good for right now for me to really pass it up. So, gotta hold on to it. So let's give everybody who can use magic Cure 3, because it'll come in handy for them. And then Fast, give that to everybody as well. Oops, not Sharon. She doesn't need it. She can't use it, so... Alright, let's sell off our other spells, and we've run through our stock of money fairly quickly, but it's okay. We'll get more as we're while we're here. Excuse me. Good lord. And yeah, we'll get rid of those. Don't need those anymore. Keep the Psi armor. And now we're good. The way that I'm going to do buffs, by the way, in this game, because buffs and debuffs will start to become more useful from here on out. Really, mainly right now, it's just fast. You don't really need anything other than that, and that increases your attack power on whomever you cast it on. But I'm going to use the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne method when it comes to buff casting in this game. And by that, I mean when I cast buffs on people, I'm only going to cast buffs on them so they get up to +4. So if I cast fast on anybody, I'm only going to cast up to 4 fasts on any individual person. Because, well, they, you know, going any high, I mean, you could stack it to the ceiling, I think. It stacks up to 9 times, excuse me, but Yeah, we don't really need to go that far about it, you know. And I'll do the same thing with debuffs when we eventually learn some debuffs, but for now we won't worry about that. I'm also going to switch Morph and Heal around. I thought about it last time, and I says, well, you know, having the heal all statuses on the person who's most susceptible to status doesn't really seem like such a good idea. So I'm going to switch around Heal and Morph. So now Gloria can have Morph, and Arthur can have Heal, because from now on, Arthur's probably going to have the most status immunities out of anybody in our party, because of the Medusa line. So he'll constantly have stone resistance like every other level, and he will have para, confuse, and sleep resistance forever. So yeah, he'll be good for statuses, and so it'll be good to give him that. Hey Marie, how's it going? Clearly missed a lot. A Gorgon, a human, a dragon, and a cyborg. Yes, we've done a little bit of transforming, and Curtis is still in his base form, but he will be transforming at the next level. I just need to wait for level 19 so I can get a good cyborg, and then I can get him some cyborg parts. And he'll be transforming, and then we won't have any humans or mutants left in our party unless they're our 5th party members. But how you doing? We are here on the float land trying to grab up some units and take care of a water entity beast that will probably cause problems for people if we leave them alone, so. But first, before we go try to find them, we should probably go into the float land ruins and check out this radioactive waste! Let's go play in it, shall we? Why not? I mean, we probably, because we're, you know, we're beasts and, you know, everything else. Other than Curtis, he's probably, you know, melting or something right now. But other than that, we're probably okay. Everybody else is some form of radioactive, unstable monster as it is. So, you know, it's probably fine. We'll probably be fine. How do I want to do this? The snake over here, by the way, is weak to Quake, so that's why I'm using that on him. And he probably will die from just the one hit and dive, but I don't know. I guess I'll double up on him just in case. Yeah, see, that's not going to help you now that I have those earrings, even with Paraskin. You're going to have to hit Gloria with that if you really want to do anything with it. Bah! Gotcha! Yeah, that adamant knife kind of helped out, didn't it? Oh, Quake is so good. I love it. But yeah, you get pushed around by the current in here, so you got to kind of figure out where you're going a little bit. You can get the tires stoned as well, but you can also get Thanos stoned, so he can be perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Although, he'll be perfectly dead instead of perfectly balanced, but you know what I mean. And yeah, you attack that guy. Let's use Freeze. Spent 2 hours on trying to make a desk. It doesn't even seem like it was finished before it was shipped. So if you want to hear this travesty, yeah, it's that sounds like an IKEA trip gone really, really badly. I mean, if you want to talk about it, feel free. I'd be cool with it. But yeah, let me know. Yeah, Paraskin, meaning static from Pokemon. They deserve a bird in hell, then. Well, fortunately, it's not a problem, because, like I said, we have para protection now on 3 out of 4 of our party members, or 3 out of 5, really. So it isn't going to be a huge deal. If they have Paraskin, I'll just attack them with the people that are immune, and we'll be fine. So, anyway, where the hell are we supposed to go here? It looks like this place is just a big circle. Well, we'll find out in just a second. Apparently you can stone the tires, by the way. It's something that you can actually do, and I am about to go do. I don't know why you can stone the tires. It seems like a weird thing, but hey, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I'm stoning that one. You're going to get hit with Quake. Let's just have you two go here. Actually, you use Freeze just because the tires are weak to it. And then you handle the Medusa. I think it's a Medusa anyway. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, we don't have to worry about static. Static ain't no big deal. Just wait until they get stone skin. Holy hell. Then things will get a little bit... Well, they won't be bad for us because, well, we'll have that on lock by that point. We'll have stone resistance too, so... we don't need Medusa meat. We already have a Medusa. Okay, I'd like to stop playing in the sludge now. Is there anything over here? Aha! A secret passage that pushed me out immediately. Fantastic. So we're going to have to find another way in. These baby worms I would eventually like to get monster meat from when I get Gloria to level 21, because that's when she'll be able to use that to... Basically, it's an air elemental monster, so I'm going to use that to get her to her next transformation. So that's my plan, and I'm gonna stick to it. Gotta be one of the worst products you ever had the misfortune of putting together. Thought it was strange that G was supposed to go somewhere by being screwed on when it had no holes. Now you're trying to connect the finished drawer to H. Aren't any holes for it. Slab of the desk that you put shit on was broken in half the moment you tried to get out of the box. Shittiest desk you ever seen. They got basic shit wrong. Reeks of someone ordered a product, so give them a product rather than a quality product. Fantastic! Oh, that sounds like hell in a handbasket. Hopefully you get your money back at the very least from these people, because good lord. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun time. I'm sorry you had to go through it. So. Well, of course I got the meat now when I don't need it, but that's fine. Let's see. We are also level 18. Curtis, how close are you? 500. That's not bad. We'll get there. So everybody else is going to level up first, obviously. I think I want to hold right. Oh, no, it just pushes me over here automatically. Awesome. If you didn't go to the right here, you would have just ended up going in a big circle anyway. There's nothing else in the room other than what we're about to go find in a minute. In this little secret passage. So, yeah, this place has got a few secret passages that we'll take care of. Okay, so everybody else attacked the snake. It's probably not a good idea because, you know, the rumor might live now. That's okay. If I didn't mention it before, the way that the skin abilities work, like Paraskin or Stone Skin or whatever, you can use them as abilities, like a stone or a para or anything like that. I'm going to need those in a little bit once Curtis gets to 19. But the way that those work is you can use them like a para skill or a stone skill or even, I don't think there's sleep skin, but like you can use them as if you were casting the status effect as an ability, or you can, they happen automatically if you get hit. So if you get hit by somebody, you'll counter with that skin ability, and it will paralyze them or turn them to stone or what have you. So here's another earth crystal. Can't go back though because it'll push you back this way, even if you jump. So yeah, you got to go all the way back around again. That's okay. Apparently I found the way last time, so shouldn't be too hard this time. Yeah, there you go. Easy as that. I like how if you jump over the sludge while it's pushing you, you still do a spin. Oh, Vine Sauce would be proud. Let's see. Not that I've ever really watched any of Vine Sauce's content, so I don't really know, but I think that's where the spin meme came from. I'm not 100% sure. I see something in the wall there. Something don't look right. Let's hold left here. Hopefully I remember when I get out of this battle. Otherwise I'm just going to get pushed around. Let's see here. I forget if the guys in the ground there are weak to Quake or not, but, well, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to even need to cast that on them because the other guys are resistant. So. It's in 5 or 6 pieces, and in the corner it's supposed to go in. This is also the second bad experience for the desk. First one never got here after 7 months of waiting for the manufacturer to finish it, and this one is a train wreck. Starting to think you shouldn't have a desk. I don't think it's the matter of you shouldn't have a desk. It's a matter of the people that you're ordering it from obviously aren't taking your need for a desk seriously because, like, that's not acceptable customer, you know. You can't just ship somebody 6 pieces of wood and expect it to make a table or a desk or anything like that, you know? You gotta actually ship them the product, you know? Oh good, we turned into a Sorix. That's just great. Well, lost Stone Gaze, but yeah, I'll get some other stuff. You don't want soldier parts, by the way, if you do want to follow along and get the same cyborg transformation as me. I don't think soldier parts will work. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'll let you know in a minute once we get it, so. There's a firebomb for us. Let's check the talents of the Sorks, by the way, because, like I said, you lose out on Stone Gaze, which is a little bit disappointing, but you do get Lullaby, so you can cast Sleep for free, so that's not too bad. Why does Arthur really need all these spells when he's, you know, gonna be just using the abilities and stuff? Well, that's a good question. I feel like I might as well just keep them in case I don't have the ability that I want at any given point in time. And there we go. Now we can get through this hole. See, I'll probably just cast Lullaby here. You don't have talents yet. We'll get there. Paranail and drop Dragon Sword. Yeah, beasts are a little on the volatile side. They evolve into different beasts of the opposite element of what they were at every single level. So they, I don't think biology even applies at this point. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, we're more into proto-biology or cryptid biology at this point. So, sleeping and paralyzed, so probably hit the sleeping one first and then go from there. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I found the one and only use for blind in this game. At least the one and only use that I'm going to use for it. But we'll talk about that once we get a little further along here. I will actually have a use for blind by the time we're done with the stream. So, just so you know, in case you were wondering, are you ever going to use blind unlike in Legend 2? Yes. Yes, I am. Well, everybody but Curtis is at their level up now, and he needs about 300. He'll be there soon. And before we leave the cave, he should be 19. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact before we leave the cave, he'll be 19. And then that way, we can turn him into what he needs to be. Uh-oh, how do I get out of this mess? Well, I guess that works. Does this take me down? Yep, it does. Okay. Let's just jump over the radioactive waste, so I don't have to deal with it. There we go. Perfect. Well, it would be perfect if I didn't encounter a snake in this hole. I forget if you're... I think you're just immune to blind. I don't think you're immune to sleep. So I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Just dive on the snake, drop on rumor, and then Dragon Sword. Not to be confused with the easily confusable Dragon Zord. If we had that, I don't think Dion would need any help, but yeah. You'll just be confused in the back of the room. Well, thankfully, the crazy biology that happens in this game only happens with the beast-type class. It doesn't happen with anybody else, so nobody else transforms into crazy stuff like that. That's a big piece of snake meat. We don't need that, though. Thank you. I guess somebody else can grab it. Okay, what's this? A water crystal. Awesome. And let's keep looking around. Huh. Well, there's a treasure down there, but I don't know how to get to it. I'll have to find another way around. Let's see. Well, I know I can put you to sleep, because basically Medusas are immune to stone, as you would expect, considering they're Medusas. But, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. We'll fix them. Actually, why don't you just dive? And then you can freeze the tires, and that should kill them with Quake in combination. Yeah, robots are pretty versatile. They get some decent, at least this class of robots, get some pretty decent skills to throw around. So. Oh, okay, that's another skin ability, that burning ability that they use there. You counter, except instead of, like, you know, inflicting a burn or something, it just does damage. But you can use it like a light damaging fire spell, basically. I think it's like a Fire 1 or something, so it's not too bad. There's an SMG. And over here, they're just called tires. This ain't sci-fi, it's use all the assets we can think of to make a game. But what if the tire is on some kind of crazy radioactive fire, and that's why they're in here? The plot thickens. No, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking when it comes to this stuff. Like I said, I think these guys are immune to blind, but I'm not sure if Paranail will activate their Paraskin, so I'm just gonna not. They threw a whole bunch of stuff together in this game. I kind of like it, though. It kind of has this weird, like, I guess really just weird feeling to the whole thing. It's not like the other two games where it felt more fantasy than anything else. It's got, like, this... Like, somebody was on some mad experimental bender or something, and they created all these weird creatures that just weren't anything that anybody had ever seen before, and then the world just evolved around that, you know? Oh, good, we found the remote. Awesome. So now we can call the Talon once it gets blown out of the temple there. Well, let's go look around, because we missed a couple of secret passages around here, so we'll go see if we can find them before we head out. You're running a little low on your MP, but we should be able to make it before you run out, so. And if we don't, well, you'll be a cyborg anyway, pretty soon, so. Okay, that rumor will probably live, but that's okay. Ah, yes, the Great Equalizer. I probably should have gotten Dion, well, he can't even equip Mage Armor because he has body armor already, so... I guess he can just be confused in the corner, that's fine. He can... he can join you in being confused in the back of the room. It's alright, this battle's almost over anyway. Yep, there you go. Hey, got a Blitz Whip, nice. That'll sell for a little bit. Jump into hole. There we go. Let's go back the way we came, because there might be a secret in this room. We didn't really look around in any of the radioactive sludge, so... Whoops. Can I... Yep, hang on. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Let's see. I guess I'll use Lullaby. Why not? Use Quake, and yeah, we'll just do the same thing we've been doing. It seems to be working pretty well, so... Yeah, you saw that, did you? Yep, we gotta go find... There's a secret passage down at the bottom of this room that we have to go find, so I just need to find the correct spot to go to where I get pushed into that area. And of course I don't remember where it is, but that's okay. We'll find it. Oh, we missed that rumor, but that's okay. That's the one that's sleeping, so I'm not really worried about it. I guess I could be, considering Gloria got paralyzed, but it's fine. We'll be fine. I should probably heal a few people, though, considering we're a little under the weather, although Arthur doesn't seem to be under the weather. Nice shot. Oh, I was kind of hoping I would get parts from that. Cyborg parts, because then I could have just evolved Curtis right away. That's okay. We did just get Cure 3. I could use it, but I don't think we need it that badly. We'll just use Cure 2. And then we'll use a Cure 1, because Gloria's got a whole bunch of MP that she's not doing anything with at the moment. Although Arthur really is in the same boat, so... He's got a whole bunch of MP that he doesn't really need to do a whole lot with at the moment, so... Okay, so now where do I go to get into this spot? So maybe here and then hold down? I don't exactly know, but we'll find out in a second. I'll just do the same thing we've been doing. Really, Quake is really helping with the snakes. If I wasn't using Quake on them, I'd probably just be paralyzing them, to be honest, because I usually have Gloria attack them anyway, so... I'll let the game play itself for a second while I take a drink. This is one of those situations where letting the game play itself is something I'm okay with. When it comes to Final Fantasy XII, on the other hand, I'm usually only okay with it when it involves a 50-foot-tall super boss dragon that has 50 million HP. Then I'm okay with it because I don't want to sit there at the console for 2.5 hours beating him. So, okay, hold down. Maybe not right there. And it's not right there either. Okay. It's got to be around here somewhere. I'm going to run from this battle just because we're trying to find something in the cavern. Excuse me, cavern, I'm trying to find a way into you. Actually, I might need to go over here. Hold on. I might know where I'm going now. I might need to go over by where the edge of the room is so we can get there. Oop. Went a little fast there. I go over here, and then go here, hold down. There we go. Now I got it. And if you go that way, you'll end up going out. If you did go into there, though, the current would have pushed you out of it, just like it did in that last one, so. Trial and error gameplay, the classic staple of classic JRPGs. Yeah, well, it's not too bad, though. Most of the dungeons in this game aren't really all that long, so I don't really mind having to do a little trial and error. So, excuse me. Yeah, yeah, I don't think anybody actually wants to fight that thing. It's just there for the medal, pretty much. 10 and 12 had some obscene super boss design. Penance and Yasmat had really absurd HP value. Yeah, I don't really know what they were thinking. Like, I mean, I guess it adds a little bit of, you know, time to the game's overall game time, but it's like, okay, is that the best way for you to add game time? By inflating your boss's HP to absurd levels? Like, that's ridiculous. I don't know. Not the way that I would have designed it, honestly. thinking about it, when I eventually do play Final Fantasy XII for the stream, I'm not even sure on the first go if I will even fight Yasmat, because like my idea for how I would play 12 when I played it for the stream is that like a lot of people when they play the game, they'll do the hunts that are in the game and the elite marks as soon as they come up, which means that sometimes you'll be fighting like rank 1 guys, sometimes you'll be fighting rank 5 guys, sometimes you'll be fighting rank 4. The ranks go up from like 1 to 7 or something like that. And I don't know, I feel like that gets a little bit absurd after a while, because you end up fighting monsters that are a lot harder than the ones that you'd be fighting normally. So the way that I would do it personally is that I would fight all of the rank 1 hunts first, before I hunt any of the rank 1 elite marks. Once I'm done hunting all of the rank 1 regular marks, I'll hunt the rank 1 elite marks. And then once I'm done with all of those, and only when I'm done with all of those, I'll fight the rank 2 regular marks and the rank 2 elite marks, and just go up in order from there. Like I would think you would normally be supposed to be doing, because, you know, you don't start, you don't just accept them willy-nilly, you know what I mean? Like, I would think that somebody would step in and say, hey man, you've only been hunting rank 1 monsters so far, why are you trying to take on a rank 5 today? Like, I don't know if that's a good idea. You'd think someone from the Clan Centurio would step in and say, yeah man, you need to do a little more work before you're here at this point. And the reason for that, partially, is because it will allow me, oh, that X-Fire staff might come in pretty handy. The reason for that is that it would actually allow me to only fight up to like rank 5 marks before the end of the game. Like if I took like breaks in between certain plot points and everything to go hunt a few marks, it would be a nice even like stretch of about 30 marks and elite marks total. There's like 45 or 50 in the game normally. Then there's a whole host of super bosses that you can go fight, or optional bosses. So but yeah, I don't know. It feels like it would be a lot less having to do crazy fights all at once, you know? It feels like it'd be a little bit more like of a stable playthrough that doesn't really require any ridiculous like strategizing and everything. I mean, it will require some strategy, obviously, to do it that way, even if I'm doing it in the simpler method. But I don't know. It feels like it'd be easier than trying to do it the other way, which is, you know, getting done with Paramina Rift and having to fight the Trickster. No thanks, man. I'll come back after doing Balfenheim. When I'm in Balfenheim Port, then I'll go all the way back to Paramina Rift and fight the Trickster, because then I can beat his ass. Oh boy. Yeah, it did add 4 to 6 hours of gameplay. I don't know if that's I don't know if 4 to 6 hours of clicking the same buttons over and over again to beat up a boss is my idea of a good time. Okay, now let's go back to that other floor that we were on where we found the remote. Stealing this idea, less suffering through marks. See, that's what I'm saying, is I feel like it'd be less of an intensity, you know what I mean? Oh, there's where we got the X-Fire staff. Okay, well now we know what's over there. But do we just walk out of here just now? Or can we go find another secret? Yeah, not so fast. There's another secret on the floor where we found the remote. So let's go through here. And that'll take us up here. Before we go there, though, let's go back here, because somebody hid a treasure back here. Of course they did. A light crystal. Nice. Have we gotten one of those yet? Let's go find out. No. So I'm going to go stick it down here with all the rest. Okay, so we're missing only a fire crystal now, and then we'll have the complete set. Although there will be more, obviously, that we'll want to get eventually. This remote is going to be in our inventory for the rest of the game, by the way. It's actually fairly useful. You can call the Talon whenever you want later on. So I'm going to stick the radio down here because it'll be out of our inventory soon. So actually, let's stick it here. That way I don't forget and sell the Psi Armor by accident. I'd be playing Zodiac Age, actually. Yeah, I know, they are all different. But yeah, I'd be playing the Zodiac Age version probably on the PS4. It depends on if I get a more powerful computer between then and now. If I do, I guess I might be able to play it on PC, but I'd probably still opt for the PS4 version, honestly. So, yeah, I would most likely be playing it on PS4, but I'm definitely playing the Zodiac Age version, because, honestly, it feels like the best version of the game, to me, personally. I don't know if that's... I can't speak for everybody when I say that, but to me it feels like it's a really solid version of the game, all things considered, so... I think we need to attack that Thanos, yeah. Oh, actually, Arthur's got it. Okay, so that plus that will kill it. And then Quake plus Dive probably won't kill that one at the bottom. Or no, I'm paranailing it. Never mind. So those tires will die. And then it'll be paralyzed, so... it's... I think so. I don't know if it's an atom bomb or an atom cannon. But, I mean, for this series, is that really all that out of the ordinary? We've gotten nuclear bombs like nobody's business in Final Fantasy Legend 1 and Legend 2. We got like 2 of them in each game, so... Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me anymore. After a while, this game just desensitizes you to the crazy, you know? And look at that, we're back in the first room. Awesome. Yeah, if we came around the circle, the big circle that I went in when we were in the first room, we would have ended up right about here, so... Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Floatland town, if I can get out of here. There we go. So let's go to the town, we'll heal up, then we'll come back to the shrine, and we'll see if we can find a rumor so I can transform Curtis into his cyborg form. And once we do that, we'll probably go back to the town again just so I can sell off anything that we don't need, and then we will go from there. I wonder if that guard counts as a... No, the guard is a robot. Well... yeah, that isn't a good thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know if the guard would count as something that I could use to get Curtis to his transformation. I'm going to turn off chat for a quick second on my phone while I pull up my notes real quick. I don't know what element the guard is. Oh, actually, I should let my notes load first. There we go. Now let's go look at what element that robot is in case I get his stuff, his parts. Because I might be able to use that to transform Curtis. We'll see. Guide. I need... You can tell I've been on this guide a lot because I know just off the top of my head exactly where the transformations are without even having to look at the table of contents. Let's see. What element are you, guard? Earth, water. So you're on the same side as Soldier, so we don't want you. If we wanted anything, we would want meat from, or not meat, parts from this Beguiler, because he's on Fire Air side. Okay. I don't remember the last time I saved, though, so I might not want to... Well, no, it's not too bad to, like, switch once I get it. Like, I can just install other cyborg parts, and I'll end up as a different cyborg, so it's not really a bad thing if I end up with a bad transformation, but we'll see. Everybody should be susceptible to Quake, so we'll do that. Why don't we paralyze the Angry Clown, and then just take care of the other guy. There we go. Oh, same deal for you with the Yggdra Union item guides. Gotcha. Missed the Nestle bouquet, which you wanted, but used your memory instead of the guides. Missed out on the combined item tray. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that's no good. Hopefully, if it ever comes up again, you'll get it the next time. I don't know how that works. I haven't played Yggdra Union at all, so can't really speak for how their items work. Oh, good. Beguiler is strong against damage. But he's weak against tornadoes, so that helps. Yeah, drop his tornado elemental, so it's pretty good. Okay, we have a few things to sell. Let's go to the inn first, though. And as you can see, if you didn't have enough money for all that stuff before, we got back up to about 90,000 gold, even just by going through this place a little bit. So, yeah, we should be able to, you know, make up our losses in case you need to buy anything that you didn't have the money for before. We don't need this firebomb, though, or the SMG, or the Blitz Whip. I'm going to keep the X-Fire, though. And, yeah, we don't need whatever this is, ATM... If it's an atomic cannon, atom cannon, I don't freaking know. We don't need it. I'm just going to sell it. I'm just going to sell this random atom bomb I found in a radioactive waste dungeon to some passerby. I'm sure they won't put it to terrible use. That's a lie. Okay, let's take the X-Fire Staff up here. We'll stick it here because I'm probably going to equip that instead of the adamant knife. As a matter of fact, how does that work for you now, Curtis? Let's see. 52 agility, 70 magic. You keep the 70 magic and you get to 57 agility. Okay, well then we're getting rid of the adamant knife right now. He don't need that. There we go. Alright, yeah, let's sell the adamant knife then as well. I bought everything I needed here already though, so I'm not really too concerned about it. See, this is one of the advantages, like I said, to having a monster in your party, is that you only have to equip 3 out of your 4 permanent party members when a monster's in your party, because monsters can't use equipment. So they have problems with status all throughout the game, but they also end up being fairly easy to equip because, well, you don't need to equip them with anything. They just have whatever stats they have, and that's it. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but you got to decide whether it's a worth it trade-off or not for yourself. So Igdra Union will take a few playthroughs to finish the item compendium. The GBA version is 255 items. PSP Remake adds more things. It's about 280 total. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm trying to think if I've ever completed like an item compendium or bestiary in any of the games I've played. Probably a bestiary. Although usually if I do that, it's by accident. I'm usually not playing games and like actively looking to complete those sorts of lists, you know? It doesn't really enthuse me all that much. But, I mean, you know, you never know. Might one day. Okay, we should get out here. I'm just going to try to find a patch of land where I can kind of just walk around, you know, not, like, get pushed around by the waste. Although we don't have exit, so I can't exactly, you know, use that just yet. I did look it up, by the way, though. We're going to get exit for free later, so if that was... Oh, you know, I could have gone there. No, whatever. We're looking for rumorers, by the way, so that's where I'm gonna go look for and get just run away from anything else that we're finding. So let's just fast forward and let the current take me, because the current will take me to its leader. Hopefully, its leader is a rumorer. You almost finished Bestiary in Final Fantasy I's GBA port. The bonus dungeons had mobs you couldn't find. Yeah, I feel that though. I'm similar in the PSP version of Final Fantasy II. I think the highest I got the bestiary was like 97%, so I was like really close. But some of the monsters that you can find in Soul of Rebirth, I just never found. So, yeah. They must have been like rare spawns or something, I don't know. So let's go for a spin. We're all going to be dizzy by the time we get these cyborg parts, but that's okay. This isn't what I'm looking for. By the way, if you try to go in here, it pushes you right back out, so you can't just skip the whole dungeon. No, that would be too easy. I'm going to go to the lower floors. It seems like the rumors came up on the lower floors a little more. And if I go to the lower floors, I can also... well, this is a fantastic encounter. 3 things that can stone you, and you don't have stone resistance? Great. Yeah, so it seems like on the lower floors the rumors came up a little more often, so we'll see. The mode you had no right to challenge and somehow beat. I mean, hey, I get that. I ended up challenging it myself with, like... I think when I beat it the last time on the... I think I haven't beaten it since I had the GBA version. I still have the GBA version, but I haven't beaten it since then. But I think that file I ended up having, like... I know Minwoo had barely over 1,000 HP. I mean, everybody else had more. Ricard had closer to like 3,500, I think, but that was still overkill. You don't need nearly that much HP to beat it. The only thing that can kill you that does that much damage is his physical attacks, and you can completely avoid that by having the right buffs, so... This is a nice place to walk around. Granted, the floor looks like it's about to explode, but, well, it's okay. Of course, now that I'm looking for rumorer parts, I'm not going to find them, but, you know, that's just par for the course. We'll find them shortly, and then we'll be fine. We'll just run away from everything else. Although I may, because we saved at the beginning of this place, so I may reset to just reset the encounters at some point, honestly, if I can't find them. Maybe I'll do like 5 more battles, and then I'll look and see if we've made any headway. We're mostly finding the other cyborgs, the soldiers there. They're the ones that I don't want. So it probably will be the same situation, by the way, as it was in Final Fantasy Legend 2, where they renamed like the commando line of enemies, where they used to have names like SS and all that stuff. Things that referenced, like, you know, World War II Germany. Anything that had that in previous game and in this game by proxy will probably have been renamed into something else. I don't know what they'll rename them into, but I guess we'll find out soon, won't we? Okay. Wait, aha! We got what we needed. Awesome. Soul of Rebirth is a ride. People are closer to 6k, but no defense whatsoever. I think guy had 9,999, but he took like 2 or 3K a hit in Pandemonium. Yeah, that's pretty much about right, actually, because a lot of the thing about Final Fantasy II's final dungeon areas is that a lot of the enemies completely ignore your defense. So your defense doesn't matter. If you fight, like, let's say you're fighting a Death Rider in Pandemonium, they completely ignore defense because their hits absorb your HP. If a hit in Final Fantasy II absorbs HP, your defense doesn't matter at all. Protect does nothing. Your defense does nothing. Your armor does nothing. It just hits right through it, and it does a percentage of your HP based on how many hits they get. So, yeah. Yeah, same though. Same though, because you needed to get, in order to really avoid all of their hits, you needed to get like really high evasion. And when we play Final Fantasy II for the stream, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, every single person in my party is going to use a shield, because you just need it in order to not die horribly to those things. Or you could just stick people in the back row and have your front row people tank, and I may end up doing that actually, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope I get the right one. Let's see. Yes, we got the right one. Awesome. It is exactly as I said. When you transform as a into a cyborg, you want to get, basically they use air and they use, I think, water in the transformation calculator in the chart there. So, you guy dual wielding axes, you should have used a shield. Yeah, most front row people in Final Fantasy II, you really want to use a shield, because otherwise you're just shooting yourself in the foot in a lot of cases, you know. It's too bad there isn't like a provoke spell in Final Fantasy II, because then you actually could dual wield things effectively without getting your ass handed to you in the end game, but yeah, it doesn't really happen all that often. Anyway, so Curtis is a samurai now. That's fantastic. I don't have a katana for him, but he'll do well enough with the X-Fire staff and everything. Got really good agility, got really good magic. He's still got decent defense. He's actually got pretty respectable attack as well, so that's pretty good. And his talents are not to be messed with. Now, they actually nerfed Psychic Blast in this game. It only hits a single target, if I recall correctly, and it does piss poor damage, so it's really not all that worth it. The main things that we want out of him are Dispel, which is an instant death attack on one enemy. It inflicts Fatal. So if they're not immune to that, it'll kill them. And most things are not immune to Fatal. It only has about a 50% chance of actually activating the Fatal thing, though. The Fatal effect. Otherwise, it does a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot. Curse Song, it can hit a group, if I recall correctly, and curse them, which I guess isn't too bad. I don't really use Curse all that much. But he also has his own Quake, and he has Circle Confuse, which allows me to take off the mage armor that I have for him and give him the Psi armor, so now he has even more agility and some good defense. So yeah, that helps pretty good. He's got 600 HP, 650 almost, so he's in good shape now. Perfect. Hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? We are in a radioactive cave, and I am wandering around. I was trying to get a cyborg transformation for Curtis that I just got, so now we're gonna take that with us to the bank once I can get out of here. I can, there we go, jump over these things and fight the current. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. It's fine. We'll just jump over. Yeah, once we get the exit spell, we won't have to worry about, doing all this backtracking anymore. But that's not until the next dungeon that we're going to go to, so it won't be too long, but we'll get there. Let's check out Curtis's talents, shall we? He can use Quake by himself now, and it's about as effective as his Quake spell, but he's probably better off just using Dispel or another status at this point, just because it'll deal a little bit better. Status ailments are going to start really taking off now that we don't have a mutant in our party, so yeah, as you can see, it does a little bit of damage. Not a whole lot, but it does enough. It softens them up, and that's the idea. Might kill it after the one. Okay, no, did not. That's okay. So yeah, not quite as effective as we were, because, well, before we had Quake to just blast everything, but yeah, we don't really need to be. We have the status effects, we have good attacks, we have Dion, so we'll be fine. See, there you go. So if it activates the instant death effect, it just won't even tack on the damage. It'll just kill them straight away, so. Just gotta have a club meeting so you can watch stream for a bit. Nice, Conker. Nice. Hopefully the meeting went well for you. We don't need tire meat. How does a tire have meat anyway? Must be like off of the off of like a Dullahan chariot or something. Then again, Dullahans are cyborgs in this game, so I don't know. I'm confused. This game's biology confuses me too, so. Yeah, I'm sorry, what? Excuse me. Game, what are you talking about? What's your opinion on you breaking 6K soft resets for the Celebi? You're a person of commitment and sheer determination, and I applaud you for that. Yes, indeed. More commitment and determination than I. I've never really gone shiny hunting all that much in any Pokemon games. I think all the shinies that I've encountered in my entire lifetime have been completely by accident, so not actively looking for any of them. So, and granted, about half of them were like shiny Geodudes or something that knew self-destruct, because of course they were. Let's see. I don't want to handle this. We're using Dispel with Curtis, so let's go here. And then I guess we could paralyze this guy, and Dion can help out with this one because that's the only one that may still live. Apparently, it can activate critical hits even if you kill them. If it hadn't killed them there, it would have applied the damage and it would have gotten normal critical hit stuff. So it would have done about, you know, maybe 290 damage, something like that. We don't need you to attack that one actually. You can attack that one, and you can help out. And you can drop, and then Dragon Sword. So yeah, even without weapon specialization, Curtis should deal decent damage with his attacks now. By comparison to everybody else. It won't be great, because, well, I have him equipped with his staff, so of course it won't, but, I mean, he'll do good damage, so. Gloria won't do great damage because, you know, she's having a bit of a, she doesn't have a whole lot of, damage to help her out there. Actually, I just want to get out of here at this point, so let's just do this. I think I can hold up and get out of here. Yeah, there we go. The next dungeon, by the way, is up and around from here, but I'm going to go back to town just to heal real quick. Get rid of any excess stuff that I don't need. And if you are following along, this is probably your last chance to buy anything from the Floatland town, because, well, actually, after the next dungeon, you can come back here, well, basically you'd have to walk all the way back, and there's a little bit of urgency that happens after the next dungeon that will make you kind of want to just get the Talon and go to the Pure Land as quickly as you can, or at the very least get the Talon and get off the Floatland. I won't say what it is yet, but it'll be happening in about 15-20 minutes, so you'll see soon. Okay, so that takes care of that. Probably I'll just have Curtis doing mostly... Oh, actually, I gotta take Quake off of him now. We don't need that anymore. There we go. I'll probably have Curtis doing mostly what I would have been doing with him if I didn't have Quake, which was just casting like Para, Sleep, or Stone. He's got the MP to use it now, and he's got really good magic, so even though he has really good magic, though, Quake isn't necessary anymore because, well, he has it, so yeah, that we won't need that. As far as transformations go, though, we're in pretty good shape here. Once Gloria gets her transformation at 21 in a little while, and Sharon gets her transformation, her next one is at 23. Then we'll only have one transformation left for each of my party members, so we're in pretty good shape. Not a whole lot of transforming in this game, but if you take all of the transformations that everybody does combined, it's about the same amount that we did in Legend 2 for our single monster for Quinfucius, so... But yeah, it all balances out eventually. And usually in this game, I don't really mind hunting for, you know, transformations and everything, because typically it doesn't take too long to do, and it's usually your running away rate is pretty high in this game, so it usually doesn't take too long to do that. Yeah, let's put him to sleep. It costs the least amount of MP, so this costs nothing though, so we'll just do that. And then do that. And we'll have 2 sleeping baby worms. It's probably kind of cute. And we'll have 1 paralyzed soldier, and then... Okay, well... We won't have a dead soldier. Never mind. Sharon just got a critical hit to make up for Dion's blunder. Fantastic. Bit late to respond. The meeting went well overall. It's left for the members to do their work they've been assigned and get back to you as soon as they're able. Nice, Conker. Nice. Sounds like you got everything in hand then. So that's good. I guess I could show Psychic Blast because, again, it's really... It got really nerfed since the previous game, as you'll see in a moment. Yeah, not a whole lot of damage. I mean, it's fine, whatever, not a big deal. Now, Dion wanting to make up for his previous mistake, I guess, there we go. That will work. And yeah, battles might slow down just a little bit now because of the fact that we don't have, well, Quake. We don't have Quake to just murder everything now for us, so... Yeah, serviceable at best is one way to put it. My physical attacks do more than that now. But to be fair, in the previous 2 games, Psychic Blast was really strong, so like they probably figured, yeah, we gotta nerf it a little bit. So, or it might not even be the same Psychic Blast as from the previous games. It might be like under a different name in the Japanese version, and then in this version they just named it Psychic Blast because it was something familiar, you know. So we'll see. I don't really know. I'd have to look into the game's code, I guess, and into the game's translation to see if that had anything. Actually, Paranail won't even be necessary here because that thing's weak to tornadoes. So drop should, well, for lack of a better way of putting it, drop them without any trouble. Okay, so put you to sleep. Drop you. Perfect. Take care of you. Guess we didn't need anybody to put that to sleep, but that's okay. Ow, quit it. Yeah, and that's the other thing, though, is that even though the battles are going to be slowing down a little bit, the enemies at this point really aren't all that threatening to us in most cases. They'll get more threatening later, obviously, but, like, you know, as it is right now, our party's pretty well stacked against pretty much everything we're going to encounter, so... Now, if we get into 20,000 encounters every single step, then, well, I guess I'm bullshitting. It's not really that bad. I think you're susceptible to instant death. Pretty much everything is in this game, unless it's... there are certain things that aren't, but it's usually pretty few and far in between, so... There we go. Those Watchers really don't do a whole lot, though. That monster type is the Fire Elemental Beast monster, and they're pretty good spellcasters. The problem, of course, is that like they have really good magic and everything like that, so they'd be pretty good offensive spellcasters if it wasn't for the fact that mutants are just flat-out better spellcasters, even with less magic stat, because they get a 2x multiplier on their attacks when they cast spells, so... Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that some of the monsters in this game end up being not as useful, just because of the fact that... Oh, a soft potion, thank you. Just because of the fact that mutants and humans just end up being more efficient. Now, if you like the monster design, then by all means, you know, use it. I mean, I'm doing that with Gloria with the baby worm, even though it's not necessarily the most optimal option. It's probably one of the weaker options, but it's serviceable. It works for the situation that I'm in, and Gloria's talents are actually coming in handy at this point because not a lot of enemies resist para, and blind will actually come in handy for the next boss fight. So, yeah, there are uses, and I'm obviously going to make use of them. Arthur is actually doing pretty well himself, though, because he's moving up to the next level of Medusa. He's Lamia now. Not a whole lot of difference from the previous one, the Medusa, but, I mean, we got access to Stone Gaze again, so that's good. Alright, let's keep moving. There's a couple of dead ends around here, but that darker-looking mountain up there that takes up a couple of spaces, that's the one we're looking for, so... We just gotta go there and see what we can find. Yeah, you can't see past the clouds in some of these cases, so you gotta kind of meander around a little bit, and in this case, we can't go that way because it's a dead end. Not like I have a rock smash or something. But yeah, I'm really glad that they put the Talon theme as the overworld map here. It's a nice touch. Especially since you're floating anyway, you know, might as well. Okay, we've made it. Awesome. I will... Gloria, can you... Actually, Arthur, you've got a lot more MP than anybody else at this point. Why don't you use Cure 1 to get Gloria topped off there? There we go. And we'll save. And now we'll head inside. What mountain is this? I forget what this mountain's called. But it is the way to Maitreya's Tower. Maitreya's Tower is at the top of this mountain, so... Maybe it might not even have a name. It might just be the Floatland Mountain. I don't know. There's a couple of mountains that you'll see in the Pure Land as well, but I know what names those ones have. I guess I could have just come here and found rumors, couldn't I? Oh well. What can you do, right? You're still susceptible to Quake, so I mean, I guess I could use that. I'll use Paranail on you. We can still drop the Rumorers because, well, I still have those earrings, and I probably will for quite some time now, so... But yeah, as you can see, Quake is not nearly as effective now that I've transformed off of a mutant as it was. Status effects are really going to start taking off here, because most monsters that we have, or rather most transformations that we get, will have those status effects on talents in some way. And yeah, it'll come in pretty handy for us. That decoy spell there would have confused me, but, well, I took care of that pretty handily, didn't I? Why don't you two take care of that? You can help the drop over there. So yeah, status effects are really going to start taking off for us. And that's a good thing, because most of those status effects I can cast without even having to cast them. So, with the exception of Curtis's stuff, so that's okay. Oh good, another one. Do I want to just attack? I might want to just attack, honestly. See if you can insta-kill that guy. Paranail him. Just in case we can't insta-kill that guy. And then, why don't you help out? Nice. Yeah, just using Dispel and seeing if it works is usually one of the more effective ways to have Curtis do things now. He could use his, you know, regular spells to just get rid of them, but I don't know. Sometimes I like kind of leaving that particular thing up to chance, but not always. It's got a pretty good activation rate, though, and it does decent enough damage if I don't get it to activate, so... Alright, Conquer, see you in a minute. We'll just be climbing this mountain, so... There's some more snake meat, don't need that. I forget which way is the way to go. I think we want to go... Like, the way that I'm going is the correct way to go, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Why don't you and Gloria just help out with the one, and then Dion and Sharon can go after the other one. Yeah, if we had tear gas, we'd probably be in pretty okay shape because, you know, Curtis could just lob that, paralyze everything on the field, but, well, we don't, so. Oh, good, I don't even have to go that way, I don't. No, no, there's another path, actually. Okay, let's go back. Fine, I'm gonna go see what's on the other path first. Because you can go under this bridge. Ow. But, yeah, we'll see what's over here first. I forget which one is the correct path. I know one of them leads to a chest, I think. I think one of them leads to a chest. Let me just say that correctly this time. There we go. Dispel the snake. Paranail you. And then drop the snake and Dragon Sword the snake in case the spell doesn't work. There we go. Nice. Well, now everybody can gang up on the one Rumorer. Yeah, not really gonna happen there, sir. I mean, you can paralyze Dion if you want, but... That will wear off in about 3 seconds when we get out of this battle. Perfect. How are we doing on money? Good. We're doing good on money. We shouldn't need a huge amount of money anytime soon, especially considering the fact that we have all of this money as it is. I have it in my notes, though, that at one point in the late game... Oh, here's the chest. Okay. Air Crystal. Nice. At one point in the late game, we're going to need about 250,000 gold at one point that we're going to be spending basically all at once to get some nice gear near the end game, so... Yeah, we'll go do that. This is a healing pool, by the way, in case you need a quick heal. Okay, so we got to go back the other way, because this way actually leads to the dungeon, Matreya's Tower. The other way leads to that other chest that was up there, so I guess we're going to go back. Ow. Yeah, sorry, I have to. I can't not hit my head on every bridge we walk underneath, so... Order delivery, and thanks to the driver. Getting lost, you guess. Store taking almost 20 minutes to prepare your order. Still waiting on your food despite it being about an hour since you placed your order. Oh, yeah. I know that feeling. Trust me. Trust me, I know it. You can use those healing pools as many times as you want, by the way. They're not finite. So. Oh, hey, I jumped over the bridge. I'm getting smarter. Okay, so these guys can't be stoned, so we'll just blast them to death. I guess I could paranail one of them in case they live. Ha! Gotcha. And to be fair, Gloria probably gets her turn last now, so paranail's just there as a last resort. We'll go under the bridge in a minute so I can bang my head. I think you can bang your head on horizontal bridges like that. I don't see why not. Okay, do this. By the way, the reason why I don't really use blind all that much is because of the fact that, so you know what I can actually do? Well, you know what, actually, you guys double up on this guy in case he lives the Dispel. But the reason why I don't really use blind all that much, it is a good status. Blind, what it does in this game, it's similar to how it was in the regular version of Final Fantasy III, where not only does it have the accuracy of your physical attacks, it also has the accuracy of magical attacks. So it's pretty good. It does give a pretty solid effect overall. The only problem is that the other three statuses that I use, Sleep, Para, or Stone, excuse me, they just outright completely end the enemy's turn or kill them outright. So I don't end up needing to have them, you know, take a chance. Whoops, excuse me, I did that, hit the wrong button. I don't end up needing to take a chance on whether or not they'll miss their turn, basically. I just paralyze them, put them to sleep, and they will 100% miss their turn. So, but if you... Oh, look, an ice shield. Nice. Well, that'll give us Circle of Fire. I want to give that to probably Curtis. Does that give him... Let's see. Okay, so he gets a little extra attack, actually, out of the... Oh, yeah, that's because of how Cyborg stats work. Okay, so I didn't really explain how Cyborg stats work, but I can explain it now. The top two items here... Well, actually, the top four items here will affect your Cyborg's HP. The bottom four will affect their MP. And the top two here affect the attack stat, these affect the defense stat, these affect the agility stat, and these affect the magic stat. But they still receive bonuses from anything that would give them extra stuff anyway. So like the speed helmet still gives Curtis +5 agility, same thing with the Psy armor. So yeah, he still gets all the benefits out of it. And the X-Fire staff in this case gives him some agility as well, so that's why he's benefiting so much from all of that. You could probably take the Ice Shield then. It's a little less defense, but I'm okay with that. It means he gets Circle Fire, so yeah, it's not bad. He won't ever have X-Fire, but I guess if he was like a water elemental monster, he would have X-Fire, so then I would want to have him be immune to his weakness, so. Makes sense since the bridge is technically above you and a Game Boy probably didn't do height or elevation, but you also probably jumped over 20 feet to keep going, which begs the question of why not just do that the entire game? Yeah, like better yet, why don't I just like jump up this cliff, you know what I mean? So I don't have to walk all the way around to get there, but Game Boy game. Technical limitations. I'm not even going to fight this battle. Get me the hell out of here. Just see all those tires. I don't have Quake. It's like this battle will take forever. I'm not even going to fight it. How are we doing, by the way? Okay, you need about 1,000 to get to the next level, so we probably won't get to the next level until we get off of the float land. But I should be able to get Gloria her next transformation before we head off to the Pure Land, so that will be good. Dispel that guy, paranail the tire. I don't know how a tire gets paralyzed, but whatever. Appreciate Cyborg stat design. Doesn't mean you don't think it's convoluted for no reason. Yeah, it is a little the convoluted side, yeah. It's funny, though, because honestly, I think it's... Once you do it and like you really understand how it works, I think it can be fairly straightforward. More straightforward, I think, than it is in certain other cases. Like... In Legend 2, sure, it's like, okay, agility weapons increase their agility, that makes sense. But how do you know what an agility weapon is in the first place? When you're first playing the game, you can't tell what a weapon is until you buy it, you know what I mean? And then you do damage with it, and it's like, okay, let me give it to my robot, but what does it affect? But then, if you give it to your robot, it has its uses, and so then it's not as useful to you, you know what I mean? So it's less convoluted this way, because you can just automatically see, okay, this is what it does. But at the same time, I think it's still a little on the convoluted side. I would agree, so. Hey, Ghost Hand, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, trying to emulate certain actions in isometric view is a bit of a pain in the butt. But, I mean, again, it's not a big deal. It's just Game Boy game technical limitations, so. If I end up jumping 20 feet over a bridge but have to walk all the way around, it's not going to bother me. I know how these things work. I had a Game Boy when I was a kid, so I'm okay with it. It's not something I'm going to get in a fuss over. It seems like getting into a fuss for no reason. Oh, and Ghost Hand, we finally have our full party of transformations, by the way. We have a beast, a cyborg, a monster, and a robot, so. We'll see how it all works out. I'd like to believe it's going to work okay. I haven't used Gloria as a monster in any of my playthroughs, to be honest, but we'll see how it works. Usually, I have a 2-beast, 1 cyborg, 1 robot lineup, and that works perfectly, so. I just throw statuses everywhere most of the time. What I would do, basically, is in previous playthroughs, my 2 beasts, I would have one that's Earth Elemental and one that's Air Elemental, so that way, when they level up and they just switch with one another, and I end up having the same party lineup anyway. So. Like I said, I play these games efficiently. And of course, the self-deprecating joke that I could say right there is that's probably one of the only things that I do in my life that's efficient, but that's just not true. So. To be fair, the sprite aesthetic reached cult status, now it's a legit art choice instead of a limitation like Octopath Traveler. That is true. That is very true. Sprite artwork, it got to this like pinnacle point where it was something that you could make an artistic choice and say, nope, I want my game to have sprite work in it, because sprite work got to a point where it was just legendary across a lot of different points in the internet. Whereas, like, you could make the sprites look so good, and the thing about a lot of sprite work is that it ends up being more timeless than a lot of the other stuff. Like, if you ask me, oh, which version of Final Fantasy IV do you prefer? I will tell you the PSP version all day, every single day, over the DS version or the PC version. Because the DS version and the PC version, nothing wrong with them, perfectly serviceable games, but the graphics of those versions look like early to mid-level 3D games, and just not my cup of tea. The sprite work in the PSP version, though, still looks great, even to this day, and that's like 10 years on, 12 years on from when they made it. So, yeah, I'll take sprite work any day of the week. I understand the need for high-fidelity graphics, but if you can't do high-fidelity graphics and you can do sprite work, by all means, the game will look just fine, even with just the sprite work. SNK was the Sprite King. Really worried about how the next Metal Slug is going to look. King of Fighters 15 looks fine, though. Well, that's good. That's good. Which one was SNK? That moniker is not familiar to me. Can you just spell the whole thing out for me, please? Apologies if it's something obvious, but... But yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I know that Metal Slug has always sort of had that sprite aesthetic to it, so I don't know. If they're going for something less sprite intensive and more realistic graphics, I don't know how I would feel about it. But I mean, I guess I'm going to keep an open mind until then, but I know what I would prefer. Gloria, how close are you to next level? 738. Okay. So we're in good shape. She'll, like I said, she'll probably get to 21. She might get there, well, actually, with the boss of this tower, she's definitely getting to 21 before we leave the Floatland, so. And in case it wasn't obvious, the boss of this tower is going to be Maitreya, because who else would it be? Oh, good, an octopus. Fantastic. They can be stoned, so I'm just going to do that. The Gillmen, or Fishmen? Fishmen or Gillmen? Which one? Fishman. Fishmen in the middle, I don't think they're terribly threatening. I don't remember them being threatening, so... they're probably weak to, like, fire or thunder or something like that. So... And then you help out up there, and that should take care of that Fishman. Between the two of you. Oh, SNK is the company that made the... Okay, gotcha, sorry. I wasn't familiar. I was familiar with King of Fighters and Metal Slug, I just wasn't familiar with the developer, that's all. So, that's my bad. Oh, yeah, I forgot. The guards there. If it says guard is self-repairing, it's not the self-fix like it was in Final Fantasy Legend 2. The repair skill that some robots and cyborgs can have actually lets them heal all status ailments that they're afflicted by at the end of each turn. There is a self-fix ability that you can get on some monsters and robots in this game. Okay, Fishman's weak to tornado. Got it. I'll be dropping those then, won't I? Yeah, so you can get self-fix in this game, and it does exactly what it did in Legend 1. But there's also repair, which heals status effects. So, yeah, it's a nice ability to have. I wouldn't have it over the self-fix, personally, because on regular characters, you can just wait till the end of a battle, or heal it with a status effect move that you've got in your spell list. But, yeah, it's not bad. It does mean that you're going to want to prioritize using stone on those guys, though, because, well, they would heal off any other status that you do to them, so not really worth it to do anything other than stone. If they're immune to stone, then that could become a problem, I guess. I just like the idea of Dispel, where it's just like Curtis just looks at them meanly, and they just drop dead. Like, that bazooka, he just looked at it funny, and it exploded. Like, that's just funny to me. I don't know. It's just so ridiculous, you know. Then again, it's not really shocking considering the game I'm playing. Most of the stuff in this is a little on the over-the-top side. Let's be fair. So, I'm fine with it, though. I love it. We don't need that. This tower has some items in it. I forget exactly where they all are, though. There's only one item per floor, though, and sometimes there's, like, they'll skip. There won't be an item on the next floor, so. That gas mask sprite is basically a stalker. Yeah, he pretty much is, yeah. He's got that whole aesthetic going for him. I think Osiris is weak to tornado, so I'm gonna drop him. I'll just use the dragon sword in case he's not. Take care of the octopus. There we go. Like I said, though, the Anubis line of monsters... Yeah, he's weak to tornado. Okay. The Anubis line of monsters is pretty solid. They get really good all throughout the game. They get really good abilities all throughout the game. Usually they have pretty decent status protection, too. As far as I know, it's the only monster or beast or cyborg or robot in the game to eventually get Circle All. So, yeah, they get pretty good. That being said, they're usually fire elemental, and the water elemental beasts in this game are 90% of the time hot garbage. So I would say it's probably better if you're going to use a beast to just stick with earth and air. You'll get more bang for your buck out of it. That being said, again, though, if you like the aesthetic, and if you want to use, like, those Watchers are also fire elemental, if you like the aesthetic of those monsters, then by all means, go use those beasts. I just personally don't find them as useful as the earth and air ones. And since we've only got one of each on this playthrough, I might as well make use of some other stuff, you know, like some of the stuff that we don't see too often. Although that being said, my entire party right now is composed of either earth or air elemental creatures. Like Arthur and Sharon are considered earth elemental, and Curtis and Gloria are considered air elemental due to the way that the transformation chart works. Because cyborgs use air, and from what I understand, cyborgs use air and earth air and water as their transformation calculators, and robots use fire and earth as theirs. There's a Psy gun. It's not nearly as good as it was in the previous games because we're getting it in the mid game, so of course it isn't. But yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, you don't need to explore the whole floor, though, once you find the treasure chest. It's there's only one per floor, so. But all the floors look the same, so, yeah. There's another one. Let's go check this one. Ah, an earth crystal. Okay, nice. Welcome back, Conker. We have made it to Maitreya's tower. We finished climbing up the mountain. Now we're climbing the tower to see if we can take care of Maitreya herself. Themself. Excuse me, Maitreya is gender ambivalent, at least as far as I know, so themself would be correct. I apologize. I get it confused all the time because I don't know what Maitreya is based on, but from what I understand, I did a little light reading to see what Maitreya is based on exactly, and apparently it's based on, like, some sort of future Buddha or something. It's something in Buddhism. It's some sort of, like, tenet in Buddhism that I honestly am completely unfamiliar with and not qualified to talk about at all. But I know for a fact... Oh, look, an erase spell. Nice. I'm not going to use that, but hey, it'll sell for a little bit of money. But apparently this Buddha tenet is gender ambivalent, so the correct pronoun there would be they, them. So, yeah, just in case anyone was wondering. there's your random trivia tidbit of the day. Of course, we haven't even seen Maitreya yet, so it's kind of hard to talk about their pronouns without seeing them. So let's see if we can fix that, shall we? Let's get through these monsters first. I don't think that Dullahan's weak to much of anything, so I guess we'll just attack. Attack and attack and attack. Not gonna fall over dead this time, Bazooka? I guess I'm not that disappointed, but, you know. Excuse me. Now, if only I could turn the Dullahan in Dark Souls 2 to stone. That would make that boss fight a lot easier. Although that boss fight isn't really all that hard to begin with. I find that one fun, though, personally. It's more interesting than most boss fights in Dark Souls 2, where most boss fights in Dark Souls 2 are primarily just roll to the left and forward and then attack. Like, just roll to into their weapon arm and then attack. So, and if Dark Souls 2 is your favorite, that's fine, you know, like whichever one is your favorite, whatever floats your boat. Personally, I find Dark Souls 2 of the Souls games to be my least favorite. And we'll get into why that is when I play it, but I gotta get to that point again. I gotta start playing Souls games again for the stream. I haven't played them since, was it Bloodborne? Yeah, I think we played Bloodborne was the last one that I played for this stream. And it has been a while since I played Bloodborne, so I don't even know. Everybody just randomly attack. It'll be fine. Yeah, I gotta get back on that Dark Souls 1 train, I think. That's the next one I'm planning on playing, is Dark Souls 1, so we'll get there. You've played 0 of them. No opinion of anything you haven't played. That's fair. That is fair. And that's actually a good way, I think, to be, is not to really have an opinion about a game that you haven't played. Like, try to, you know, maintain neutrality on a game that you haven't played, because, you know, that way, like, how can you actually know without trying it for yourself, you know? That's the way I usually do it when I play games, is I wait to figure it out for myself before, you know, trying to... I withhold my judgment until I've played them for myself, so... Oh, a young dragon, and is that a Ronin? Yeah. So Ronins are the lower level version of the samurai that I have Curtis on right now, so they have most of the same abilities, although I don't think they have Quake, so... I mean, it doesn't really matter. Quake isn't that big of a deal, but I think they do have Circle Confused, though, so if you're thinking of using that, it's probably not going to help you. So, did I play Vanilla or Scholar of the First Sin? I beat the Vanilla version. I've played Scholar of the First Sin, but I've never beaten it. So it will be the version of the game that I will play, though, for the stream, is I'll be playing the Scholar of the First Sin version, just because it'll give me... I want to, when I play Dark Souls 2 for the stream, I want to get a fresh take on the game, because my original playthrough of Dark Souls 2 was crowded by the fact that it's the last video game that I've ever felt hype for in my life. And I was so atrociously disappointed at the difference between the way that they hyped it up in the trailers versus how the game actually turned out, that it just killed hype in video games for me forever. There's the exit spell that I was saying we were going to get. So... yeah, I want to play it in a bit of a fresh take. So we'll be playing the Scholar of the First Sin version, and I'll be coming into it with more of an open mind. I don't want to go into it thinking about all the fact that the vanilla version was that bad for me, because believe me when I tell you, it was that bad when I played it. I played it basically on release, and it was not fun. It was not a lot of fun when I played it on release. We're going to give Exit to Curtis. It'll be one of his 2 unique... spells that he has, along with, well, we don't have the other one that he's going to have later, but, Heal is the unique one for Arthur right now, and then Morph is the unique one for Gloria. So each of them will get one other unique spell that we'll get later. But yeah, so I want to play Scholar of the First Sin version for the stream because it'll be a fresh take that I haven't gotten before. So that's my plan. Just like the environment and build variety more than other games, the DLCs are great and elevate that game a whole bunch. See, yeah, and I can agree. I think that I think that the build variety in Dark Souls 2 is probably my favorite part about it. You can make a whole ton of different builds in Dark Souls 2, and they all end up being fairly unique and unique playing. I find you can play it in various different ways because of that. The only thing I think, though, is that I think in a way Dark Souls 3 also has that, and so my thoughts on the variety of Dark Souls 2's builds, it's not that they go out the window, it's that there's competition there, because Dark Souls 3 also has, I think, high amounts of build variety. And here's the other thing, too, is that I never really got into the PvP in the Souls series. So I think if I got into the PvP in Dark Souls 2, I probably would have been better off. I did some PvP in it, but it never really clicked with me. I never really enjoyed it, you know what I mean? So, oh, there's a monster in our way. Better save before we fight him in case he's a mini-boss. Some mods in the work, they're trying to revamp the game's visuals to be closer to the first gameplay. Yeah, and I don't know if I would use mods for it. It's really going to depend on when I play it, you know what I mean? Like, And again, I feel like if I just played the Scholar version of it, it would be enough of a fresh experience to where I could say, yeah, you know, I'm willing to give it another shot. I'm willing to come into it with an open mind. So, honestly, though, I feel like the vanilla game of Dark Souls 2 is long enough. The DLC's just, I don't know, it makes the game feel a little bloated on my account, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just coming down too hard on it because I'm used to it being the vanilla version. Again, when we play Scholar, I will do my best to come into it with an open mind, and we'll see how much additional content I can handle before I gotta say, no, enough is enough. So, well, they started the battle music before the battle, so let's see if we get into a fight, shall we? Well, we did, but okay. Yeah, we fell down a hole. And apparently Dion didn't fall down a hole. He also, I was going to say, forgot about Sharon, but no, he did not. What'd you find, Dion? A secret passage. You probably shouldn't go in there by yourself. Okay. Well, he found Maitreya. Oh, this isn't going to end well. Yeah, they took them to the Pure Land already. That's not good. Dion, you really should wait up for us, man. So anyway, we got knocked back down to the previous floor. And Dion is no longer in our party, so we'll have to make do without him. That's fine. We'll be fine without him. I might just use a couple more status effects than I was previously, but we'll be fine without him. Problem with 3 is that the very sterile environments and the overdependency on callbacks to 1. Yes, and I would agree with that. I would say that they do make a lot... It's kind of pandering in some ways in Dark Souls 3. They do kind of pander to the Dark Souls 1 nostalgia in a lot of cases. So I would agree with that. But at the same time, I don't know. I find the gameplay in Dark Souls 3 to be quite fun and addictive, personally. So I don't know if I'm willing to give it a pass, but I am willing to at least somewhat give it a chance over Dark Souls 2 in that case, you know. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm willing to bet this Remora is resistant to Tornado. They're usually resistant to a lot of things, so I guess we'll just try to do our best here. I don't usually stone them, because when I think of a gargoyle, I think of like those ones that are up on churches and stuff, and so like it's like, okay, are you sure that can be stoned? Because I don't think that can be stoned, you know? But yeah, like I said, we'll go into Dark Souls 2 with an open mind. I'll just, you know, make sure that I go into it with a fresh take when we play Scholar of the First Sin. I will do my best to not let my previous thoughts on Dark Souls 2 Vanilla affect how I feel about Scholar of the First Sin. So we'll see what we can do from there. 21, yep, everybody's 21 except Curtis. He'll get there in a couple hundred experience. But Gloria is now actually at the correct level for me to do the next transformation for her. So we'll see if we can work on that. Let's see. Let me just look at my notes real quick. See what else I can change into. If we get Remora meat, I can actually transform her right now. But we'll go from there. Yeah, the cartoon gargoyles. Yeah, that might be what it is. It's either that or like just my other perceptions of gargoyles from other media are just saying, well, you know, they're probably... Well, actually, no, the gargoyles in that one aren't really rock, are they? Or do they transform out of rock? God, it's been a long time since I've watched that show. I came back down here, by the way, because there's some extra treasure on the next floor of the tower. There's some battle armor, and there's a another Cure 3 potion for us. Can I give the battle armor to anybody? I can give it to Curtis, I guess. What does it do for him? It makes his attack stat nice, but it lowers his agility, so I don't know if I want that. I guess it gives him more defense. Yeah, I'll give it to him. What the hell? A little extra defense never hurt nobody. The lack of agility... I mean, he's still got 78 agility. He'll be fine in that department, so... Must have gotten that adamant knife from a battle or something. But yeah, now that we've gone here to get this stuff, we can now go to the... Excuse me. Oh, I don't even have Lullaby on this one. What the hell? I'm getting ripped off. Yeah, now that we have the armors and stuff from there, we can go to the next... we can go to that secret door that Dion used, and we can go to the next area. Why don't you para that guy, and you can para-nail that guy, and then you can paralyze that guy. Bang! So I guess we'll have to start using some of Arthur's 600 MP. No big deal. I missed my para-nail. That's okay. That guy by himself won't be that threatening. We'll just dogpile on him and take him out. We'll have to see if drop is effective on the Remora there. Or if it's resistant to it. We'll see soon, because we should be coming around to that turn in just a minute. To Sharon's turn, so she can bat the Remora with drop. If I don't kill him first. Yep, okay, that's fine. Well, I didn't get Remora meat, but that's okay. Huh. I can see something in the bottom left corner there. I wonder who that is. Well, there's no secret passage here, just in case you're wondering, but there is that hidden door that's over here that Dion found, so maybe that led all the way around to that section that we could kind of see through the wall there. Incidentally, I have no idea why you can see things through the wall like that. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but I mean, whatever. No big deal. We can stone you. I might just start casting stone. Just stone everybody. I don't even care. Actually, I'll just paralyze over here, because these guys shouldn't have para resistance. They have confused resistance, but not para resistance, so... Might as well use up my MP a little bit while we're at it, you know. Okay, well, we've been cursed. I think, if I recall correctly, curse, like, halves your stats or something like that. I don't quite know exactly how it works, but I do know that if you curse an enemy and then attack them, you do more damage to them than you would do normally. So it must interact with defense somehow. I just don't know exactly how. Feel like you aren't nuking things as fast as in Legend 2? It's a good and bad thing in your opinion? Yeah, I would agree. Battles in this game do take a little longer when you don't have Quake. When you do have Quake, like let's say you have a mutant in your party at this point still, you would still be nuking things just as quickly as you did in Legend 2. I would agree, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it means that the battles can be more challenging and you can use different strategies. But it's also a bad thing because it means the battles take longer. So, it's double-edged sword. I'm okay with it, honestly. Again, I enjoy the fact that the game actually makes status ailments remotely useful. Which was not really the case in Legend 2, because a lot of statuses in that game, their accuracy was nerfed into the ground after they were so good in Legend 1, so... I'm just glad to be able to use them again, that's all. Anyway, we went up some stairs, so this must be the 10th floor again. Oh, this room looks familiar. Oh, God. She got Dion! They got Dion! Excuse me. I keep misgendering Maitreya. That's my fault. I apologize again. They got Dion, though, so we're going to have to do something about that. We're okay on MP and everything, I think. I don't think I have anything that I want to equip. No, we'll be fine. Okay, so let's save real quick. And take the fight to Maitreya. You okay, Dion? Well, at least he's still alive. Yeah, so Maitreya has the X-Plane unit, so if we want to get to the Pure Land, we gotta go through them first. Let's do it. Actually, he's not quite dead yet, unlike what you're about to be. Every time you hear the word Quake, your mind floats to a smiley picture of John Romero. yeah, I can completely understand why that would be. Oh boy. Anyway, so Maitreya comes with some backups, some Medusas or Lamias? Lamias even. Okay, so they're a little harder than the normal Medusas we've been fighting. I'm just going to paralyze them. That should make things a little bit easier for us. We'll just paralyze you, and then we'll have Gloria and Sharon go after Maitreya in the middle real quick. Here's the one and only use for blind, because Maitreya is a spellcaster primarily, and their spells do some pretty good damage, but we can also blind them, and then that reduces their likelihood of actually being able to hit us with those spells, because again, blind in this game works like it does in Final Fantasy III, where it nerfs the accuracy of everything, not just physical attacks. So let's just paralyze the backup. We'll use Soften if we can hit with it, to try to soften up Maitreya's defense so we can hit a little harder. Yeah, so you'll still get hit by the spells occasionally, but not nearly as much as you would otherwise, so. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably just have Curtis use Dispel on these guys, and I'll have Gloria heal, actually. So who got hit there? Curtis did, so let's give him a little bit of HP. I might not even use Soften, to be honest with you. You probably don't really need it all that badly. We should be able to deal some good damage. But ideally, we're looking for a proc with Dispel where it kills the Lamias. They will eventually break out of their, what's it called? Their, see it full? Not quite. Okay. They will eventually break out of their paralysis, but hopefully by that point in time, it won't be problematic anymore. I could just cure one. I think Maitreya can use like a party-wide hit of some kind. I don't know exactly what it is, but it is a party-wide spell. Okay, so she can just cast Ice 2 on the whole party. Okay. And probably eventually that would become a little bit of a problem, but it splits the damage across our entire party, so usually it isn't too big of a deal to deal with, really, for lack of a better word. So we don't have multi-target healing yet, though, so you got to be a little careful in that department. Why don't you just help Curtis out with that guy while we still focus on Maitreya? They've got, like, probably about 6,000 HP, I think, if I recall correctly, so this might take a little while, but that's okay. There it is. That's the spell that we got to be a little worried about, is Cyclone right there. Now, it only hit Arthur there, but it is 150 damage against everybody it hits, so that could eventually turn into a bit of a derailing train, so you got to be a little careful, but we'll be fine. Yeah, you do that, and then we'll still have Gloria heal. Usually that's what monsters end up doing, at least at this point in the game for me, is if you're going to use a monster, they end up being pretty decent healers because, well, their attacks typically don't do a whole lot of other stuff, so. Oh, that Lamia is still alive, isn't it? Yeah, well, okay, that's fine then. And yeah, there you go, Blind actually coming in handy for us there. Now, Blind won't go away on its own. It does go away at the end of a battle, but it doesn't go away on its own during the battle, unless you heal it, and, well, Maitreya can't do that, so we'll just, we'll just leave that in place, which will make it a lot easier to take care of things here. You'd think we were blinded, considering what just happened. That's okay. Almost done with that Lamia. I might just kill it this turn, just to say that I got rid of it. Anybody need healing? Not really. Maybe you can use a Cure 1 on yourself, I guess. And then we'll just all focus on the Lamia, just to get rid of it. And then once it's dead, we can just all go after Maitreya. Thankfully, they don't summon more backup later in the battle. That might get a little difficult to deal with, I guess, if they continuously summon backup. But then again, you could just do exactly what I just did, which is, paralyze them or you know, stone them, do something like that, and you'd be fine at that point. So, okay, well, we're in good shape. I don't think anybody needs any particular healing at this point, so let's just, let's see if I can use Soften again, just see if I can make it useful. Okay. Whack her with your stick there, Curtis. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's 3 people. I mean, that'll do a little bit to, you know, and by the way, the 60 there, that was not the amount of defense that Maitreya has down. Soften will always reduce defense by 15 points, but it does some minor damage as well. So yeah, it's not quite that good. If it reduced defense by 60 with every use, you wouldn't need to use more than one of them. Let's use one more, and we'll heal Gloria because she has the lowest HP. So okay, got her again. Good. Got them again. Sorry. Keep doing it. Damn it. Let's see. I guess I should probably heal Sharon. She could use it. And I might heal Arthur as well. And now we'll start dropping again. See if our stuff does more damage now to him. To them. I gotta pronounce it, sorry, every time, just to make sure I don't say anything that could be misconstrued. I have to use the correct pronouns. It's important. It actually, and this is not me being facetious. It actually is important that I use the correct pronouns. I want to be correct about those sorts of things. It's a sensitive topic for people. I don't want to be insensitive, you know. Okay, well, yeah, Ice 2's not going to do pretty much anything that I care about, so. Yeah, she's got a decent chunk of HP that we have to deal with, and to be fair, we don't exactly have huge hitting attacks at this point, but we'll make it work. There we go. Not too bad. Almost 1,000 experience from that battle, and 14,000 gold as well, so. Yeah, stay with us, Dion. Okay, so we got to take him off to Belsky. We got the X-Plane unit, though, and make sure you grab that before you leave, because if you don't, you're going to have to walk all the way back up the tower. And that's no good, so, yeah, make sure you grab that. We'll just heal ourselves, top ourselves off real quick. Gloria, you can do that, too. And why don't you do top off Sharon's HP as well. So, let's see. Order was 40 minutes late, didn't get your full order, got credit since you couldn't get a direct refund, which is scummy as it forces you to use the service again. Yeah, that's not really gonna be all that helpful. Oh, Jesus. Need more Celtic mythos representatives. Need a game with enemies loosely based on various mythologies. Square. I got you, fam. Yeah. Celtic and Arthurian mythos always gets shafted in fiction. Yeah, well, yeah, they don't really... They use very specific, like, outlooks of Celtic and Arthurian things. Like, things that everybody recognizes, you know? And it's like, yeah, but can you go a little more in depth with it, please? And it's like, no. Come on. You know, they go a little more in depth at least. Let's use our new exit spell to get the heck out of here. Might as well, so we can help Dion out a little bit faster. What I want to do, though, before we have Dion get helped out, he's just going to kind of be dragging around on Arthur's back for a little bit here. But I'd like to get Gloria her transformation before we move along here because, well, she can get to level 22 before getting it, but it would probably be more helpful if I just went and found a baby worm or two and beat them up so that I can get her next transformation. So she's in good shape. And then we just got to wait for level 23, and that'll be when Sharon gets her next transformation, and we'll go from there. So let's go back to the radioactive cave real quick. Or rather, the ruins, because that's where we encountered a good chunk of the baby worms that we found. Yeah, I don't really feel like fighting these. We'll just run away from things until I find what I need. So. Oh! Every time I get into an encounter right before, keep wanting to startle me. Okay, so let's save again, back in this place again. And let's turn on the fast motion and just go in circles. Until we find the baby worms that we need. Of course, now I'm not going to find any of those either, am I? But that's okay, we'll find them eventually. Hope Hellblade Dude dives a little more into Celtic folklore. One had some neat stuff. I still gotta play Hellblade one of these days. It's just one of those games that I keep saying, no, you gotta play it, dude. You gotta play it. And I just never end up playing it. It sucks. But I'll get there one of these days. Let's see. So you can get stoned. You can get stoned. I hope they still drop meat, even though I'm stoning them. I don't see why that wouldn't be the case, but, well, I don't know. Sometimes these games work in mysterious ways, so... It's like how you heard Eternal Wind and Shadowbringer's theme and thought, so how is the Crystal Tower involved in this expansion? Because 14 refused to even acknowledge anything. This isn't the Crystal Tower section of 3. What do you know? They use the Crystal Tower. Where's the rest of 3? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess you could technically make a case that the floating continent in As Is La was like kind of based on the one from 3, but I feel like that's a real stretch, you know what I mean? Because the floating continent in As Is La is just a 6 reference. Like there's Magitech everywhere. It's a 6 reference. It's not a 3 reference. You know what I mean? But there is more to 3 than just the Crystal Tower. It's just that's the kind of thing like it's with the Arthurian folklore and Celtic folklore stuff we were just talking about. 14 in a lot of cases takes the stuff that people recognize the most from whatever game they're referencing, and that's the only thing that they pull from. You know what I mean? They pull the Magitech armor from 6 because that's what people recognize from 6, the Magitech armor and the floating continent. They pull Go-Go from 5 because that's what people recognize about 5 is Go-Go and X-Death. They pull Chaos, they pull, you know, all of those things because that's what people recognize from those. They pull all of Ivalice. Ivalice is really the only situation in 14 where they pull more than just what people recognize, but that's because the developers, from what I understand of 14, are massive 12 and Tactics fans. So, I mean, you know, that's why you end up with all of that. Yeah, flips table. Square Enix. Oh, Final Fantasy starts at 7. Yeah, 1 through 6, they don't exist. Oh, boy. I don't know. It just... I feel like when you do that as a developer, it's like... I feel like 12 did a better job of referencing the other Final Fantasies, because they weren't afraid to get into the stuff that people didn't necessarily recognize at face value, and so it almost gave you an excuse to go and play those games, because then you'd have something new that you're discovering, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just stay on the first floor. I know whoops. Yeah, I'll stay right here, actually, because I should be able to still encounter baby worms. You know, I'll go here. Here, I should still be able to encounter them. And this way I don't gotta worry about flying all over the place. There we go. Let's see. And then... why don't you drop that one? Soldier will still attack me, but that's okay. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like when you do that and you only reference the parts that people would recognize the most, it feels like you're not getting all of your money's worth in some cases, you know? It feels like you're just sort of like almost forgetting your heritage, I guess. I don't really know how to put it, honestly. But it feels like they're forgetting something. I guess that's the main thing, is the generalized statement there would be the most true, is that it feels like they're forgetting something. And, I don't know. Okay, so this is the meat we wanted. Let's give this to Gloria. There we go. And that turns her into Worm Kid, which is going to look pretty familiar because it's the exact same monster sprite, except slightly better, obviously, based on the fact that she has 670 HP and 536 MP and crazy good stats. Yeah, like I said, monsters are pretty good. They act kind of similarly, honestly, to how guest party members in this game work, where they give them to you at a certain level, and that's about the level that you'll end up being by the time they're out of your party. That's usually how monsters work, is that they're usually good enough at any given level to compete with anyone at that level, and then for a few levels after that. So, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, and Persona started 3, JoJo started Stardust Crusaders. What are you talking about? What do you mean Phantom Blood Battle Tendency P1 to the P2 duology? Say it again for the people in the back. Indeed. Again, it's where they got popular, and so they have to appeal to the things that people know are popular. It's like, okay, but can you give me something out of the other stuff, please? Oh, we didn't check out Gloria's new moves, did we? Well, let's use her in battle and see how we do, huh? Might as well. Can't hurt. Let's get rid of those guys. What else do you got here, Gloria? Okay, so now she's got the same sort of stuff as before. Circle Confuse and Circle Quake is nice. She's also got this Storm ability, so it's I think thunder damage against a group of enemies. And I'm not 100% sure, but if it is in fact thunder damage rather than wind damage, thunder in this game works a little differently than it does in other Final Fantasies. It's a dual element in this game. It is a combination of ice and wind. So, if it is that, these guys will be weak to it, because they're weak to ice. Okay, so it does not do exactly that, and it is probably just wind elemental. That's okay, though. That's okay, though. I'm not really bothered too much by it. But if they're weak to wind, I guess it will probably be pretty decent, so. The trouble, of course, here is that I'm spreading it out across, 4 tires, so it really won't do a whole lot for us, so. Okay, so the tires are fixing themselves. That's okay. Let's just beat them up. And then I guess I can Quake and maybe Storm again. Between Quake, Storm, and Freeze, we might kill them. P2 duology is nuts and you adore it. Part 2 of JoJo is one of your favorites. Personally prefer Part 1 of JoJo. P1 and 2 duology still want to check out properly for yourself. Yeah, same, Conquer. I haven't gotten to check out... Mainly P2 is the one that I really want to look at, is the P2 duology. The way that I would have to play it, though, is I would probably have to play Innocent Sin on the PSP and then play Eternal Punishment on the PlayStation 1. Ow. Because that's where I think the English versions are, if I recall correctly. I don't think they ever came out with an English version of Innocent Sin on the PS1, but they also didn't come out with an official English version of Eternal Punishment on the PSP. It's a little bit of a shame, honestly. Let's see. Let's just drop, because at this point I'm just dicking around. Okay, let's heal Arthur up real quick. So yeah, Gloria's about the same as she was. She has better stats now, so that'll help out, but she functions the same way, so. Yeah, I don't need tire meat. Oh, no English releases at all until the PSP, and we started with Eternal Punishment. Okay, well that's even worse then. How am I supposed to play it in English officially there, Atlas? What the hell? PSO2 had a Persona crossover. It starts with 3. Had costumes too, starting with 3. Give me Tatsuya's jacket. Can't even wear it. You're girl in PSO2, but still. Yeah. I know. I wish they would acknowledge some of their older stuff that was more of a cult hit as well. But, what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. They don't listen to me. Let's use exit to get out of here. I know I will only have to walk a little bit, but that's okay. Oh yeah, we got a new Earth Elemental monster, by the way, when Arthur transformed at this level. We got the Lizard Duke. So it's the same as those Warrior and Lizard Man enemies that we've been encountering occasionally. They have similar stats, similar talents, everything like that. He's got the Blitz ability, which is decent for bosses. It lowers agility. So that's not too bad. He's got Hypnosis to put them to sleep. He's also got Circle Ice, which will combination. It'll work good in combination with the fire or the ice shield that he's got for the Circle Fire. He's got Circle Damage, so weapons only do half damage to him. So he's in pretty good shape. But now I think we're all in pretty good shape, other than Sharon. Once she gets that 1581 experience, she'll want to get her transformation. But if you have anything else that you want to do here on the Floatland, make sure you go do it. I might actually go and sell off all of this excess stuff that I don't need. Because, yeah, I don't need them at all anymore. So, and actually, you know what I'm going to do with the remote is I'm actually going to stick it up here, because we have the radar, but I probably won't use the radar all that much. Use the Prism Magi more than I use the radar. You usually don't have to worry about, oh, well, I need to use the radar to make sure I got everything, because the game really kind of points you in the direction of where everything is in this one. So I love how, although I'm just thinking about it now, I love how I'm just like, oh, we'll go shopping, we'll rest at the inn, we'll do all that. Meanwhile, Dion's on Arthur's back like, I'm dying over here, man! Well, yeah, that's your name, except it's Dion. No, actually dying! Okay, so let's get rid of all this stuff. Don't need the Adamant Knife, don't need the Psi Armor anymore, and we're in good shape other than that. We'll put the X-Plane unit on the Talon once we get it, but first, we need to activate her. Take the experiment up, Dr. Belsky. We're ready for liftoff. It hurts. The games are still good. Might not click the same way with modern Persona fanbase, but the games are still solid. Remake of P1 literally added things to appeal to the modern audience. Yeah, that's true. Let's hold that there while I read the rest of the chat. Problem is the muddled nature of the first Personas with Shin Megami Tensei. Their atmosphere, systems, and tones are very different from current Persona. That's true. They were more in line with how the Shin Megami Tensei series was than they are with current Persona. Current Persona kind of took off in more of a life simulator, like, type of a dealie with P3, and it sort of just continued from there, you know? So this is some of the old Persona and newer games, but it's few and far in between, yeah. And honestly, I'm okay with the SMT formula. I love Nocturne, so... and we're playing Nocturne, like, as soon as the HD remaster comes out, so I'm personally be okay with things being more in line with SMT. I'd be fine with that. So I'd go back and play P2 if it was more like SMT. Yes, that's it, Ghost Hand. Thank you. Slice of life high school drama. Yep. That's about as accurate as you can get, so... And it's fine, I enjoy that type of gameplay, but it's not the same as it was, you know. Oh, not Dr. Belsky. We gotta talk to Dr. Pulsar about the X-Plane and the remote. Then we'll go see Dr. Belsky about hopefully getting Dion to not die. So. Well, there goes the temple, but now we got a spaceship. Awesome. Okay, sounds good. So let's use the remote. We'll pull the Talon to us, and then we'll be good to go. I'm ringing up my ship. So you just press A while you're underneath the Talon, and it'll allow you to jump up into the ship, and you can take it out of the floatland. Again, though, if you need to do anything else there, well, you should have done it before you went into the Talon, because otherwise you can't go back. Now, the stuff that's available there, other than, I think, the armor shop, will be available in other shops later, but yeah. Anyway, you should probably heal Dion. He's kind of dying or dead. Yeah, you could say that. Will he live, Doctor? Oh, well, okay then. Awesome. So you're giving him the cell treatment. Fantastic. Quite literally, he's giving him the cell treatment. Yeah, apparently they have the same technology that Dr. Giraud had in the Cell Saga of DBZ. I wonder if they influenced one another. This game came out after the Cell Saga in Japan, though, I think. So that might be why they influenced one another. But apparently Dion's okay, so that's just fantastic. And yeah, our next destination is the Pure Land. Okay, so we can head out whenever we want because we have the X-Plane unit. But it is another point of no return. If you want to do anything at all in the past, present, or future, you need to do it before you go to the Pure Land, because once you go there, you can never go to any of the other places again. The Pure Land is I want to say it's like the halfway point of the game, but it's actually closer to like the 3/5 point of the game, basically. And it is a point of no return. If you want to do anything else, if you want to get any other monster transformations, if you want to do any of that stuff, you got to do it before you go to the Pure Land. There will be stuff available for your robots in the Pure Land, though, so you will be able to buy capsules that allow them to change up. It's just if you want to do any transformations to the North Tower, where they're really easy to do, you got to do them now before you go, because it's a point of no return. You can't go back once you go there. So, yeah, patiently awaiting the Nocturne remaster. Same though, and really, I wasn't even honestly awaiting it all that much before I learned that they actually changed up how skill inheritance works. Now that I know that you can actually just choose skills for your demons like you can in P4 Gold and P5 and all those, and SMT4 Apocalypse I think also does that. Excuse me. Now that I know that, it's like, yeah, I have no excuse to not get the remaster, because that's like a quality of life thing that I just wanted. And it was literally like the only thing I says, okay, if they do that, I will definitely get it, because that's like so much easier than trying to do it all randomly. So, yeah, much easier. Nocturne Remaster, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Yes, you're getting both, Suyu. Monster Hunter Rise. Finally getting Switch titles this year after almost 2.5 years. So are Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl the games that they announced on that Pokemon Direct thing earlier today? Because I didn't watch that. honestly, I don't think I'm gonna ever buy a Pokemon game again, personally. After Sword and Shield, I'm kind of jaded. But was that what they announced earlier today? I didn't watch it. Let's buy more defense and speed capsules, shall we? Let's get like, we'll get 4 of each. And then we'll go get HP and attack ones from Elan. So we don't need anything else here, though, I don't think. So, but yeah, once we get those capsules and we use them on Sharon, I'll just see what her stats end up looking like, and then after that, we'll be heading to the Pure Lands. So. Not sure about Diamond and Pearl remakes. Kind of want to see more of them before you decide whether or not to get one of them. There's Sinnoh remakes. You're damn right. You're getting both. Well, you do really enjoy Sinnoh, so it's not really all that much of a shock, honestly. So, if you enjoy it, though, then yeah, I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't get both. So, all right, Sharon, let's give you these. It'd be easier if Arthur was the one that was my robot, wouldn't it? Because, you know, then I could just mash A and give him everything, but no, that's okay. How you looking now, Sharon? Oh, good. Nice defense and 73 agility. Maybe I'll get her 5 attack capsules just so that she has them, and then I'll just get her 4 more HP capsules. That'll get her up into the 700s in HP, but that's okay. Hey, the Talon is here, so now we can just jump right in, get that fancy music, and we'll attach the X-Plane unit. You don't have to use it, though, just because you attached it. So, and then if you want to actually move around in the Talon, you just hit Depart. We don't have any new cannons, though, so let's just hit Depart, and we'll fly around. Awesome. But yeah, you don't get the Talon music when you're flying around, unfortunately. So, you do get it when you go back in, though, so. Let's rest at our new free inn that we now have available whenever we want. And then we'll go to Elan, we'll grab the last of the capsules that we need, and then we'll head to the Pure Land. Let's see. It's more interesting than Sword and Shield at least, but boy, those visuals look rough. I haven't really seen anything from the stuff that happened today. A lot of my friends on Twitter are really, they're really raving about it because they're all, a lot of them are still doing Pokemon content and stuff on their channels, and they all really enjoy Pokemon, and then more power to them, you know what I mean? I don't personally enjoy Pokemon nearly as much as I used to, but if you enjoy it still, then more power to you. You should enjoy it. Don't let my poo-pooing of any new Pokemon games get to you. You should enjoy what you enjoy. You shouldn't let anybody else's opinion dictate what you do and don't enjoy. So, yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, they're all happy about it, and they were all talking about, you know, like thinking about streaming it and doing all that stuff. So, but again, more power to them. Oh, I could just do this. That's much faster. There we go. Okay, so Sharon's up at about 750 HP. That's good. She's got good stats. That's good. She's practically up at the stats that Gloria has now, really. Yeah, pretty much exactly, almost. And, you know, flipped around a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, they'll be in good shape. Curtis is still ridiculous. Arthur's ridiculous. So we're all in really good shape, honestly. Now, Arthur's magic isn't that great, but he doesn't need it. He's not using attack magic, so he doesn't need it. That's what they announced earlier today? Okay, gotcha. Let me catch up on chat before we head to the Pure Land, shall we? Let's see. As for Monster Hunter Rise, I already pre-ordered it, so there's that. Might just get the Nocturne Remaster more if you can get your own Switch. I would say it would be a good purchase there, Conquer. It's a little different from Persona, but it's well worth playing. The game itself is well worth playing. It's one of those, like, it's almost like required reading for RPGs, for Japanese RPGs, really. I think, anyway. Impatiently awaiting going back to your favorite region. Yes, that was indeed a stealth bomber. Yep, and she's a Valkyrie. That's the name of this robot class. We'll get a new transformation for her once we get to the next level, but that's not going to happen before we go to the Pure Land. So yeah, we'll work on that. Other than that, where else are we getting transformations? So Arthur's good until I get to level 31. Then I just need to get him into the fire and water elemental monsters. Beasts, rather, not monsters. Because after level 31, they don't change up the different types of monsters after that. Because around level 31, 32 is about where you'll end up beating the final boss, basically. So there's only one set of beasts at that point, one set of monsters. So there's two monsters that you can get at that point. There's two beasts, there's one type of cyborg, and there's one robot. So Arthur will get to the one beast that's there, but there's actually two beasts, like I said. So I want to switch him to a different beast than the one that he could get to above level 30. So we'll want to switch to the one that's in the fire and water elements instead of the earth-air elements at that point. Curtis, he's actually not going to be the highest level cyborg. I'm going to transform him again at 27 into something that has a debuff, which will be useful for some of the final bosses. Gloria, she's not going to transform again out of Worm Kid until level 29. The next worm monster, just a regular worm, is available at 27, but at 29 is the monster that I actually want her to be in the end game, so that's what we're going to transform her into there. And Sharon will get the next transformation into the next level of Valkyrie robots at 23, and then at 31 she'll get to the final one, which is just the highest level Valkyrie type robot. So that's the plan, but before we do any of that, we got to go to the Pure Land. So let's save right here real quick. There we go. Let me English real quick. And then we'll head off using the X-Plane unit. Yeah, I'm not going to save it until the next episode this time. We might as well just head on off. Okay, so let me go back in. If you need to go back into the Talon, by the way, you can just press B. Or A even, I think, also works. And you'll end up there. So Rover, let me see if Rover does what I think it does. Hang on one second. Oh, okay, you can still go over water with Rover. It's just a little slower. I forget what Rover does compared to Hover. It might just be slower, honestly. Not 100% sure. But what I would rather have Hover because it's a little bit better. So yeah, past, future, present, X-Plane. There you go. Cannons there. We got these options. Let's warp to the X-Plane so we can go to the Pure Land, shall we? Actually, you know what we should do? Let's go a little closer to the Pure Land water entity before we do that. Sorry, Floatland, I don't need you anymore. Relationship ended with Floatland. Pure Land is my new best friend now. Okay, off we go. To the Pure Land. Everybody hold on to something. This is gonna be a bumpy ride. Oh, that's more epilepsy. Holy hell. Yeah, beating a final boss before 45? Like, gasp. What is this, Final Fantasy V? Or 6, for that matter. Yeah, everybody give me a status report. What's the sit rep? Okay, so we can no longer use the X-Plane unit to get back, and we can't use Hover anymore. So now we're stuck with Rover. And yeah, we can only move on land for right now, because apparently the seas in the Pure Land are too rough. It makes sense, that's where the Pure Land water entity is, but yeah. That's literally dimensional travel instead of time travel. Yeah, it is, actually. We traveled to a completely different dimension, which is where the Pure Land water entity is. The water that we see pouring down from that cloud thing that I was in front of there is actually an arm of the water entity reaching into our dimension from the Pure Land and pouring all of the water that's releasing all the monsters into the world and flooding the world into it. So, yeah. We traveled to another dimension completely. So, yep. This game goes places, that's for sure. Okay, and now Dion's going to split up. So he's going to go look for Dr. Borgin and the rest of his crew. And we'll go look and see if we can find Faye and Sol. Alright, Dion, we'll meet up with you once we get everybody together, once the gang's all here. And then we'll head off. He's going to head to that town there. I think we can go there ourselves because there's probably some decent equipment over there too that we can get. I mean, it's the Pure Land. It's a completely different dimension. I would imagine there's some decent equipment. Let's go check it out, shall we? Oh, well, that sucks. So yeah, float and dive are no longer useful to you now that you're in the Pure Land. If you want to, you can just get rid of them, but, I mean, I might as well just leave them. They're not doing anything. It's not like they're hindering Sharon in her magic inventory, so, yeah. Oh, okay, so some of the crew members that were left from the Talon, actually all of the crew members that were from the Talon are here in this world somewhere. Okay, cool. We might go want to meet up with them, because, I mean, we're a 4-person crew at this point, but it can't hurt to have the expertise of the other 4 that originally piloted the ship. So we'll go check it out. And apparently there's a whole lot of different things in these places, like there's beasts operating shops. It's a bit different from where we came from, isn't it? They finally sell Cure 3 potions, though, so we can finally get rid of these Cure 2 potions. So that's what I'm going to do. Cure 3 potions, I don't think I actually talked about what Cure 3 does. Cure 3 potions and the Cure 3 spell behave the exact same way. They fully restore the HP of one person. So they're rather nice to have, by definition. So And yeah, we can't buy any capsules for our robots from here yet, but don't worry, that shop will be coming up eventually. We just need to get there first. But that's why I bought stuff from the shops before, to make sure that Sharon was a little bit more well outfitted before we went off and did other stuff. Okay, let's check out more people. Oh yeah, they said Borgen was a member of the advance party, so he's probably out looking for the units. We should see how many units there are here, so. Yeah, and I think they mentioned that when we were in the future, maybe, no, I don't think they mentioned it in Floatland, but I think in like Viper City and a couple other places they mentioned that the Excalibur could only be drawn by Faye, and that's why they kidnapped her. So we'll have to go and rescue her so we can take Excalibur for ourselves, won't we? How many units are there here? 5, okay. So we're in pretty good shape in terms of how many units we have. Although, I need to check how many units we have total, because if there's 5 here, we'll need to see how many we have, because I don't know where the other ones would be if we don't have 7 already. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Some new equipment if you want here. It's probably... Smother's a little gruesome, but I should probably get it for Arthur, because it's the next best martial arts technique for him. Do I want a dragon sword for Sharon? Not really. She really doesn't use weapons all that much, and the X-Fire staff for Curtis is good enough, and, well, Gloria doesn't use any weapons at all, so, yeah. So I guess we'll teach Arthur how to smother somebody. Good lord, man. We're getting hardcore here. Alright, Conquer, take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. I'm probably going to be done pretty soon anyway, so I'll probably be joining him. Okay, so some new equipment here, and some of this stuff is actually pretty good. The diamond stuff in particular is very nice. It gives you a Circle Thunder, which, as I said before, Thunder is a dual element in this game. So it actually gives you protection from both ice and tornado, so ice and wind damage, because you have immunity to Thunder. Or rather, it gives you resistance to it, so... Who needs what here? Arthur's going to need a diamond shield. Curtis is going to need a diamond shield. And Sharon's going to need a diamond shield. Curtis will be changing his shield for a different one later, but Arthur and Sharon, this is endgame shield right here. This is their endgame, a piece of their endgame equipment, basically. So that will be pretty useful for them. And I know I'll be getting rid of the fire resistance I just got, but that's okay. Gives us a little extra defense, and yeah, we'll be good. And we don't need the fire shield anymore anyway, because this gives the exact same immunity, but also gives wind immunity, so that's helpful. The X-Plane, does that give you anything other than... Excuse me, I didn't buy one for Curtis, did I? I probably should. Let's check their talents real quick. So yeah, as you can see, ice and tornado resistance there. And same over here. So even though Arthur has Circle Ice, it's still a Circle Ice and Circle Tornado from the shield. So yeah, it's pretty good. Let's get one of these for Curtis. I should probably take a drink of water because my throat's starting to feel a little dry. Well, it gives him a little extra attack as well, so that's not too bad. It'll help. Gives him a little extra HP too, so that's good. But yeah, the way that cyborgs work with their stats and how their stats gain based on the stuff that you equip them with, it's usually best to prioritize giving them the best equipment that's available at any given moment, because that way they have the best stats that they can have at that level. So it's usually a good idea to give them that. Let's see what they have at the weapon shop, shall we? Apparently Loki's here, and they don't got anything that I'm particularly interested in. I got all of that stuff already that I need. And Fire 2 I really don't need, so... Let's sell off some of our stuff, and we'll look around the rest of the town, and then we'll head off. Don't need the fire shield, don't need the ice shield, don't need the X-Plane shield anymore. The ice shield probably could have still come in handy for us, because it would give us circle fire, but... it's fine. We'll be fine with what we have. Oh, look, more warehouses with treasure in them. There's a heal magic, in case you were missing that from somebody. I already have it, though. I probably could have even waited until just now to get it, because we haven't even used it yet. Oh, well. Again, it's not like, what did he say? It's not like this game doesn't give you enough money, so... Oh, have you? Did you see which way they went? They went that way, sir. Well, that doesn't really help me, because I didn't see where you were pointing. Oh, okay, so there's another town that they can, that has a harbor called Naya here in the Pure Land, but the ocean is too rough, so they can't actually take the ship there just yet, so we'll have to work on that in a little bit. And yeah, we'll actually have to start using a regular old ship to travel rather than just the Talon, because until we get the hover unit again, we can't travel over water anymore. So yeah, it's a little bit of a problem. But we'll fix it eventually. I mean, hell, if we find the advanced party, they might actually have a little bit of knowledge about the inner workings of the Talon, because they have their own Talon. So we can either get the one that we have fixed, or better yet, we could just go in the one that they have, you know. But we'll see. Anyway, that's all for... I think this town is called Darius, if I recall correctly. So now we'll just head on out and get more Talon music. Awesome. Yeah, the Talon music is the both the Floatland and the Pure Land overworld theme. So that's pretty nice. Well, let's save real quick, and then we will move a little bit over here, see what we can find off to the west. Apparently there's a village here, and then whatever that's supposed to be. Okay. Huh. Why do I hear boss music? Hello? Anyone home? Well, something's got to be going on here. Something bad, too. Oh, those guys look interesting. This guy kind of looks like Kronos. Hello. Yeah, she was kidnapped, and we're trying to see if we can find her. So this guy's name is Itar. Might be related to Kronos. Not really sure. Oh, okay. So another water entity beast named Fenrir has taken her to the northern maze. Okay. That was the ruins that we saw earlier. Well, that's just great. So everybody here is turned to stone, and it's not like we have stone immunity on anybody anymore, so that could be a bit of a problem. But we'll see what we can do to take care of it. Oh, catnip, huh? Yeah, apparently in this game with high technology and crazy sci-fi bullshit, just finding catnip from a tree would be your best option for fighting the monsters. So that's just great. Well, we know what happened, Arthur. We just asked them. By the way, you can push the townspeople around if you really want to. Doesn't really do anything because you can just jump over them, but yeah. I forget if there's anything like on the spaces that they were standing on originally. Can I like... No, there's no hidden items or anything. Excuse me, sir, let me just hop right over you. Yeah, they don't attack you even if you like get close to them or anything. They don't just instantly aggro to you. So, unfortunately, we can't push this guy out of the way. I don't know how you got that from looking at a stone statue, but maybe he's got like a walking stick or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's go find the catnip, shall we? I think... Is it just the catnip from the tree outside of town? I always forget this part. I think it is, though. So let's go find it. Let's take Itar's advice. Maybe I gotta do that. No. Where is it? How do I get it? Hold on. It's gotta be here somewhere. Oh, I see. There's a broken fence over here. Okay. Yeah. Kind of a little bit hidden there, but I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention, was I? So yeah, we got some catnip from the tree. This is ridiculous, but I'll take it. So let's head up to the northern ruins, shall we? And this place is... It says it's a maze, but it's really not all that much of a maze, honestly. It just sort of... There isn't really a whole lot to it. It's just one big round room, so we'll see what we can do. Let's use the catnip. Fill the place up, and now all of the mummy cats that were in here, or rather black cats, other than the ones that we fight in battle, have been turned, well, they're sleeping. So now it's almost as if they were turned to stone, because now you can move them around just like the townsfolk, basically. So yeah, that's how that works. Well, those Ronins are the same Ronins basically that we were. So are they Ronins or are they samurai? Oh, they're samurai. Okay, so they're the same ones that we have with Curtis there. So that means they're susceptible to stone, and para for that matter. And we know now that those guys, I think, are weak to tornado, so let's get them. But yeah, elemental attacks from your mutants would be still pretty good in these situations where you have monsters that are weak to these things. But at this point, a lot of mutants, they really, the problem that you start having with mutants is they start just not having enough HP to really live through most of the stuff that you need them to live through. So that's usually why cyborgs and robots and monsters and beasts end up taking over for humans and mutants in the late game, is that they just don't have enough HP. You end up healing a lot, and it just, I don't know. It's not the best, I guess. Oh, great, I just... You know, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Nope, I don't want PETA to be breaking down my door. But yeah, with the other classes, you end up having plenty of HP to survive all this stuff. You don't have to heal, like, after every battle. So. But yeah, let's take a little bit of a look around, shall we? I think I can just push this guy up here, yeah. So you can walk underneath the lattices here. And, of course, you can hit your head on them. It's not a bridge, though, so I don't know if that counts as much. But let's see what we can find while we're in here. Well, there's nothing over here. So maybe we'll head that way from a different direction or something. I don't know. Now, you could push this guy, or you could just jump right over him. Much easier. Can I get in there? Oh, no, that's below me. Okay. Because, like, I'm up on the lattice right now, so I would have to go down and around in order to get whatever's in there. Now, here's another new enemy, Typhoons. Yeah, there's living tornadoes in this game, apparently. And they have eyeballs, too, so that's just creepy as hell. I'm pretty sure they're still susceptible to stone, though, so that's just fine. I think they're actually resistant to drop, though, so I'm probably going to have to use... I'll just use Paralyze. Okay, so that missed, but that does not mean he's immune to it. It just means that it missed, so... What a turn this is! We missed 2 of our things, but at the very least we hit the other 2. So. Okay, so the curse isn't really a big deal. I'm not really concerned about that. But yeah, you can put them... As far as I know, I don't think they have, like, any status immunity, so you can, like, put them to sleep or, you know, do all that stuff to them, and it's just fine. It doesn't really do much for them. If Gloria wasn't a worm kid at this point, by the way, I would be using the Typhoons, because they can actually drop meat as well. I'd be using the Typhoons to get the monster meat that I needed for her transformation into a worm kid. So, yeah, just in case you were wondering how that works. Yeah, let's just start working on the others, I guess. We'll get the Typhoons eventually. Okay, I'm not really worried about the poison. That's not really a big deal. Nice hit, Gloria. Holy crap, that did a lot of damage. Better than she's been doing, that's for sure. Now, of course, she had to get a mighty blow in order to get that kind of damage, but, yeah, you know, it's okay. I'll take my victories where I can get them. I'm kind of hoping for an instant death proc there, but not really having much luck. It's okay, though. He's asleep, so it's not like that's a big deal. But yeah, the battles will start taking a little longer because of the fact that we don't exactly have a fantastic way of dealing with these enemies just yet. Now, when Sharon gets her next transformation into the next robot, we'll have something that can basically take care of any of this stuff. Her strongest attack against these guys, I think, is still drop, though. Like, even laser, I don't think does enough damage. Or it does about the same, anyway. So, oh, yeah, like I said, if I needed it, I can use it for Gloria, but I don't need it because she's already where she needs to be. I don't want to do this. Let's see. Let's just have Gloria do some healing. She's got the MP. So she might as well. I don't think there's anything else I can do up here. I think I just need to go back down here so I can find my way down and around that place. Oh, this is a hell of a battle, isn't it? I might just start stoning things, honestly. Like I said before, the Typhoons can be stoned, so it might be in my best interest to do so. And, maybe paralyze one of these guys. So we really don't have a whole lot to deal with after that. But yeah, the hermits usually don't do a whole lot because I don't think they can cast any spells. They might be able to, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Actually, I think they can cast spells now that I think about it. Wait, hang on. Why don't you dive the hermit? I barely ever end up actually getting hit by a lot of these things because I end up just using status effects on them and they just end up not really being problematic. Okay, so laser works a little better on the typhoons, got it. Not by much, but, you know. Arthur's really going to start taking off, though, in terms of his damage output now, because once you start getting into the late game here, the martial arts techniques start becoming even better than they were in Legend 2. And they were already pretty good in Legend 2, it's just you had to build them up to get them to be really good. In this game, they're just flat out better than a lot of your damaging abilities, especially for beasts at any given level. Only humans can really rival the kind of damage that beasts can do with martial arts techniques in this game, so yeah, it all ends up working out pretty nicely for them. It's a really solid class, all things considered. I should probably move you now because I want to go either the left or the right here. There's nothing over there. And we can just jump over him if we need to, so it's not really a big deal. Is there anything over here? No, that just brings me back to the left. Okay. I can probably do this battle without too much trouble. Let's just stone a couple of people, shall we? I'll just paralyze the one, actually. There we go. And drop that guy. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of a look around. Maybe for another, like, 5 minutes we'll look around this place, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll finish it up on the next one. Let's see. So you're going to get dropped and instantly die, so probably the black cat can... Well, it can poison if I hit it with weapons, so maybe I'll just use Dispel to try to knock it out without hitting it with weapons. And then just do this. Actually, hang on, I got an idea. Storm over here. And then... Well, you're going to be a little faster, so... Let's see what we can do. Okay, that takes care of that. So you'll drop the samurai, that's fine. How's that work? Not bad, actually. It's not incredible, but it's not bad. Okay, and now let's finish the job, shall we? And then yeah, just drop. Bam. Whack him upside the head, Curtis. Okay, well, we don't need those. I am going to need to look for a specific robot, though, here at some point. I need... What kind of robot do I need? Something in the guard line of robots. There's keepers and monitors and those sorts of things. And that's what I'm going to be needing, is that style of monster, because they will get me... Again, if everything works out correctly, they'll get me the transformation that I need for Sharon's next transformation, so... Let's just do this, and we'll stone the typhoons, because apparently throwing rocks at them makes them stop moving, so that's just fine. Or rather, I'm not throwing rocks at them, I'm turning them into rocks. So that's just great. But yeah, the battles go a little slower in this game because you... ow. You don't really, I mean, again, unless you have mutants and you're using stuff like Quake or any of the other hit-all skills that you get later in the game, then it gets a little faster because you can just spread the damage out across everybody. And, I mean, you can spread the damage of other spells across a group if you want, but Quake and those sorts don't have the drop-off, damage drop-off that the other spells do when you use them on a group instead of a single target, so... But yeah, if you wanted to use mutants at this point, it would still work out pretty well for you. It just, it's just, like I said, I find that they don't have enough HP and you end up healing a lot, so... I don't need that. I think the treasure chest is right in here, if I can ever get in here without getting into 7,000 encounters. Tried moving the desk pieces to get a better look at them. One of them literally came apart. Man, that desk is not doing you any favors. Holy crap. That sucks, though. Again, I wish that they wouldn't have, you know, done all that stuff. Like, I wish they would have sent you a competent desk, basically. But it just seems like it's a big pain in the butt. See, nails look like they were bent to hide them. The thing you thought was hot glue was accurate. It was hot glue. Literally jerry-rigged. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Oh, boy. So let me dispel you because you can do some hits. And then just dogpile on this thing. Whatever that robot is that we're using it on, the keeper there. Okay. So that keeper is actually the one that I need robot parts for Sharon. I don't need them yet, though, because if I do it at level 22, she'll turn into the wrong type of monster. She won't turn into the next level of Valkyrie-type monsters if I use it now. But once I get to 23, then I'll be able to have her transform into the proper thing that she needs to be. So. And once she transforms into that proper thing, battles might start going a little faster, because when she gets to her next level of robot, she gets a new ability that it's pretty good, to say the least about it. It's pretty good. I mean, she's already got some decent abilities, and she's pretty versatile as it is. She has, you know, wind damage and ice damage and all that other stuff, but, well, she gets something that's way better than any other ability that she has, basically. Oh, okay, fur armor. Alright, that's fine. Let me just check what's over here. I don't feel like doing this battle. We're almost done. I just want to see what's over here real quick. Oh, this looks symmetrical. Uh-oh. I see a boss monster. It could be Fenrir, the one that stoned everybody in the town of Itar. Can we defeat him and take another water entity beast off the map permanently? And what other new and wonderful things await us here in the Pure Land? Find out on the next episode of Final Fantasy Legend 3, the Stream Edition. Let me heal myself before I go away from the stream so that I don't start next time and start up the boss fight with, like, no HP. But yeah, we're going to call it a day here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I'll be posting the schedule for next week tomorrow, probably like 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time, like I typically do, if I remember. Because sometimes I don't remember, and then I end up doing it the next day. But I will try to remember. I have it in my schedule, so hopefully I'll remember. But I will see all of you sometime next week. I think I'm a little busy in the early week next week, so it might not be until next Tuesday before we stream again at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'll know better by tomorrow. So, until then, and until the next stream, everybody, I hope you'll take care and have a good one. Actually going to save right here, so that way this is where I end up when I start the stream. Wouldn't want Arthur to turn his back on the camera. That's just wooed.